and welcome to the Wandering Isles. I've got the boys with me today. We are sans one Richard, but we are good to go. We've got a nice group with us today. Let me bring in the boys. There we go. How are we doing today, guys?
Well, good, sir.
Jazz hands.
Ready to kill some horses?
No.
We don't kill horses over here.
The horse cake?
Every fucking thing.
Why is intro busy?
We
Always?
don't want to make lasagna.
They're gonna be like, wow, his German accent's great when he does the whole fucking show, but this part he's like, they're gonna think you're French or something. That's awesome, boys.
What do you mean no lasagna though? That's gonna be a problem.
Is it? Is it gonna be a problem? Welcome to the Wandering Isles. I'm here with the boys today. I'm gonna go to each one of them, let them say a little hello and see how we're doing, get a temperature check, see what's up. Brian, how you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good. Yeah, last day of work for the week, so it means I can stream over the next couple of days.
Nice.
I got a few pots boiling, which hopefully will come to fruition. If they do, you might be able to see me in a few different ways over the next year.
Oh, so saucy.
Absolutely.
That OnlyFans taking off, is it?
The only beards is getting ready
Oh,
to
the
go.
only beards, yeah, that's right.
How
Hell
many
yeah.
more ways can I see you?
Oh, there are ways. I've been
Oh,
friends with him a long time.
absolutely.
There are ways. Kean, how are you getting
Depends
up?
more actually how much money you've got.
That's right.
Don't think
Mr.
I can afford you.
Mr. Vacay man, who flew out and flew back just in time.
Just in
How you doing,
time.
Kean?
Good. I am travel fatigued. Won't lie. I got back in at like 9 p.m. last night and then had to get up and do a full day of work today before joining all you beautiful, beautiful gentlemen. But
Rookie mistake, buddy. Rookie mistake. I'll take the
rookie
day
mistake. Yeah, absolutely. I thought, you know what? I'll save my annual leave. No, it would have been worth the annual leave.
It would have been
But
worth it, I don't believe. Yeah, that's how it always works.
It's fine because nothing better than a session of D&D with my friends to energize me. Eh?
Hell yeah, that's it. Mr. Recap Rory, gonna give us a recap in a little while. How you getting on, pal?
All good, sir. Finished work a couple of hours ago. I'm caffeinated to the nips and I'm ready to go.
Shouldn't it be hitting your brain? Is that a problem if it stops down there? Like, shouldn't it be
I don't know.
caffeine rises like heat?
So it doesn't go any further up, right?
All good though.
It's just going to be his nips to be doing the intro.
I'm pretty sure that'll be the shortest stream of our life. We're phoning it in at that point. We're done. Busy, how you getting on, pal?
Oh, I'm very good today. I had some nice conversations before. I had my vitamins and the coffee, and I'm feeling incredible.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you were grinding the Apex stream yesterday, right? Because new character came out. It was awesome. It was a good
Oh
stream.
yeah, that character's fun. Super
yeah.
fun.
She looks great.
You
Yeah.
make me braid out of the French.
I did, yeah.
That's not good.
Oh, Richard, how are you? Oh, I'm great, thanks. Richard's not here today. He'll be here after our break. When we go on our break and he come back, he should be here. He has some important stuff, life stuff to deal with, and it is an exceptional reason. So
He just did an
Also for
IRL
life
Nat 20
stuff.
stealth roll, didn't he?
he did. He's that good. He is that good. Yeah. So I'll jump to you, John. How are you, my friend? You're just back from vacation as well, actually.
It was work,
Suspicious.
sir.
Both of you went at the same time. Very suspicious.
It was work.
Mm.
Mr. Finnegan has decided to come and join us here for a second.
hell yeah.
Here.
He can roll for Richard for the whole campaign.
You want to roll for Richard?
Yeah.
Are you going to be Richard? Are you feeling okay?
Surely it makes sense
healthy?
to make him chicken, no?
He's the wrong kind of red dog, you see. He's a white dog.
Oh yeah.
And he really, really likes to eat box poop. Kind of a thing he does. And he rolls in it. He's like, oh, this is the best thing. And I'm like, you can't do that, dude. He's like, oh, watch me.
Watch me.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna have his own stream here soon as well. Be called Fart Factory.
Oh, wow.
Tune in, and just enjoy Mr. Flanagan doing his thing.
What's he eating?
Tootin'?
Yeah.
Hell
Extra
yeah.
bonus feature.
A bonus feature? Yeah. Maybe we can get that can be a Patreon exclusive. That could be for that could be just, something.
It's gonna be one of the advertisements on Only Beards.
Yeah,
Only,
the
the Only Beards that are running. Yeah.
24-hour live boot cam.
That's it. So today, what do we have? We have...
Wait, Mr. DM, how are you?
Oh. That's it. That's how I am. Is that enough? Is that how I am? No, I'm doing good. Thanks. I'm hyped. It was a very long day, a full day work, and now we're here. but I'm excited. I got to break up work with a little project with Busy that we're working on for some stuff, so I'm excited about that. That put me in a good mood. Good vibes. And actually leads me into another thing. Our Discord server. Please feel free to join it. Play games with us. We set up servers. We can play stuff. I think right now we're playing Minecraft. And it's been good vibes. People are jumping in, jumping out. It's good. It's good. You're welcome to join. Maybe our mod can put Discord in chat there for me. That would be awesome. You are welcome to join if you're watching on YouTube. The Discord link is below. We're very open. We hang out with our community a lot because we love our community and it's awesome.
There's always someone in the voice chat.
Yeah, there's pretty much always somebody there, which is awesome. I love that too. When I come out of work, I'm like, how many people are online? Let's go see what's going on. And let's just like get straight into it, which is awesome. We also have some exciting news. Mr. Ryan is launching his show tomorrow on the Flying Orc. Are you gonna tell people about it?
Yeah, sorry, I just realised my camera's messed up and it kind of distracted me for a second. I'm like that. I can't help.
It's really funny because like we were in the meeting. I think it was with Richard or somebody. And you were like, "Listen, I've got time to listen to what you have to say, but if you don't fix that fucking crooked picture behind you, I am out."
And then there's me like that. Hello.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, as a way to try and give back to our audience and to also let them in a little bit behind the scenes, really, we're going to be doing weekly over the next 7 weeks an interview with each one of our wonderful players here, and of course our wonderful DM. These questions and stuff will be asked of them, how they got into D&D, their characters, what they're hoping for future D&D games, and what they might even be running themselves. So tune in tomorrow for that, and every Thursday thereafter.
Can the community submit questions as well?
I would suggest if you want to submit questions, head over to our Discord, as Roper said, over to the Flying Orc Discord. There should be a section there, and if there isn't, we'll make sure there is a section there for questions relating to the people that are going to be on our chat show. And tomorrow's episode is going to be with our wonderful Rory. So if you have any questions to Rory about D&D, about his character Eos, and all that kind of stuff.
About which way he sees Ducky going, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Then jump over, add some questions there, and I'll get through as many of them as I can. And of course, keep them a little bit clean because, we have to be okay with the stream.
I didn't agree to that. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I know, but I have to.
I can only apologize so many times.
Listen, the 50 you requested, I can't do. Yeah.
Perfect. So, this is our first week with our 1 minute intro instead of our 4 minute intro. But if you do want to see the 4 minute intro, the awesome one that people put so much time and effort into, that Rory spent, started crying. He was like, "Please let me out. I don't want to do this anymore." We were like, "Nope, you're in there now," and we just, beat him.
I was chained to his house.
He was, yeah. We let him go though because he did a good job. It was.
Wait, you let him go? I thought we just gave him a longer chain.
Listen to you.
But this is the 1 minute intro. This is our also on YouTube. If you want to see it on our YouTube, youtube.com/flyingwork. But you are welcome to look it up if you want to. If you miss it, but we wanted to get things started sooner. We love D&D, and with that, let's watch the intro and get into it.
Yes, showcase her fencing prowess against a Madriana in class, surprising everyone with her razor-sharp skills.
2 seconds. Sorry, this says no sound in chat.
I'm gonna get you to do it again, Rory, if that's okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but if you don't mind, there was no sound for some reason. I apologize. I apologized for this last week and the week before. It's supposed to auto transfer. I don't even look at it. I should be. I apologize. So let's hey, welcome back. Wasn't that great? That 1 minute of stuff. That thing. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. We'll just cut that straight out of the video. Behind the scenes stuff you only get on twitch.tv/Flying Orc. Yeah, see?
We just cast reverse time.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Hello,
Time stop.
everybody.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome.
Rory, my friend, you were going to recap. What
Yeah.
did we do last week? Please, my friend.
Well,
Thank you.
Previously on the Wandering Isles, the day kicked off with an eerie sight, a strange ship looming on the horizon, stirring unease among the group. And Madriana delved into the Academy's library, hungry for clues about her past, but came up short. Eos showcased her fencing prowess against the Madriana in class, surprising everyone with her razor-sharp skills. Elsewhere, Hatsu had a heart-to-heart with Boreal, emphasizing the need for composure under new surroundings. Slate joined the group for breakfast, marking a bond forming among them. Weslin encountered the enigmatic ship, sensing something peculiar about it, a wondrous beast from a land unknown. Its very touch ignited hesitation and fear among a curious friend. This was followed by a chase, Dash, and a fox imposter through the halls which led to the gang, the forest far beyond the grounds. Evening took a darker turn when Dash was seemingly attacked and brought back unconscious by a mysterious figure. Despite the initial shock, the group soon realized Dash knew this person, ushering in a new unease and mystery for them to unravel. Now they stand at a crossroads, faced with the daunting task of deciding the fate of this enigmatic newcomer as they continue their journey through the shadows of their world.
Nice. Man, you guys keep raising the bar on these recaps. It's crazy. Like, Ryan came in hard, and then you guys were like, well, I can't just read this off a piece of paper now.
They're not. They're reading it off their monitor.
I'm just, look, my age is showing. Just let it show. It's fine. Perfect. So let's get back into it. We were sitting at the campfire. You've got Lissa with you, and you guys were making a decision on whether or not you wanted to keep her. And I gave you guys some time to talk because I was watching it last week. I was watching all the faces, and some of you were like, get her out of here. And some of you were like, we should talk about this. So here we go. So what do you guys want to do?
Friends, I feel like you deserve a little bit more honesty from me. I was never meant to be here. I stole my invitation from Lissa. Now, I expected that this was some sort of wealthy man's hideout or something. I didn't expect it to be a school. I thought Lissa had simply found a rather large mark and thought I would beat her to it.
Certainly explains some things.
Yes, though now that I'm here, I'm very much intrigued as to what I can learn. But I would say Lissa would be a valuable ally. I'm sure there's room for everyone here. It's quite a large place after all.
You claim yourself to be a wealthy man, yet you are so poor and lacking in respect and honor.
Respect is earned, I find. Although, that depends on who's trying to earn it. I never claimed to be wealthy. I only try to style myself as such so that I may better blend in with those who have more than they need and who refuse to share the wealth with those who are in much more dire need of it than they. You see,
You mean you need a new dress? What you talking about here?
I need a new dress.
He means
Well,
that
when you said It should be shared with the poor. Does that mean you just need a new dress, or what is it for?
I mean their gold, their wealth, their money, their miscellaneous items that they never seem to miss when it somehow ends up in my pocket and sold on the black market, and then, oddly enough, quite often bought back by the same person I stole it from. I don't pretend to be a good man, but I try to do what I can.
Well, in the case of this revelation, maybe you should have been more honest. It's actually been the first real likable thing about you.
I've only known you lot a couple of days. I honestly tend not to spend that much time amongst a group of strangers. Usually, you know, it's in, out, take what I've got, or in many cases have it handed to me. But you may be right about me here. You are quite insightful. Either way, I wouldn't be so quick to turn Lissa away. She's a fantastic set of skills and has been ever-present in my escapades, shall I say. Not always helpful, but I would keep her around.
And Lissa? Do you think he's worth the time?
Well... Does he have to be here when I compliment him? It feels wrong.
I think that speaks enough.
If I were to put somebody's hands around my life to protect me, he would do. We are not in what is called a trust business, but it is good to have somebody that you can depend on, and if he's good at keeping secrets like this, imagine what he'd do for his friends. We are not even a week here. I'm sure there are secrets we're all trying to keep.
How long were you going to keep that invitation a secret from me?
I just wanted to see if you could find it. Who do you think led you to the hideout in the first place?
You know, eventually I am going to one-up you for a change.
Yes, I don't think any of us see that ever happening.
Words hurt, Madriana.
Not as much as knives.
That's what they're designed to do.
Madame Lissa, I'm sorry for my sign of disrespect earlier when I spat on the ground too.
I would have been surprised had you not reacted that way when one of your allies is dragged up unconscious on the floor. I'm just thankful you did not kill me on sight.
No need.
For what it's worth, your appearance does not bother me. I find it actually quite appealing. You look quite good.
Isn't it fascinating, all the different people here? I did not expect that at all. Did you expect it? Because I was...
Well, yes, because I knew what the school was, because I did my research before I came here. I didn't just hop on a boat and just show up. I cased the place, I thought about it, and I made myself aware to them, and, you know.
Yeah, it did catch me quite off guard.
And that's why I don't think you'll one-up me anytime soon. But hey, maybe after a couple of years of school, maybe. But I've been taking you to school for years, and it hasn't worked so far, so I don't know.
She definitely has the pants on. I'll tell you that.
With that mark on your head that's quite visible, it's obvious she's able to get you quite often.
It's where I bonked her. Sorry. Yes, of course.
Are you kin or mate? Dash. Her.
No, not at all. Just
Why not?
Associates. As she said, this is We're not in a trust business. Dangerous to get close to someone.
Don't trust?
Well,
Allied.
allied. I wouldn't trust me.
You lied?
He lies a lot.
Yes, frequently and well.
Why?
Helps me get what I need.
What do you need?
Generally, money, clothing, food.
Wesley begins to take his clothes off.
No. I don't need your clothes. I have my clothes now. I don't need clothes. I don't need more clothes right now.
You lie?
No, not now.
And what do you need? Now.
Right now, a stiff drink.
I offer some ink.
I think I will retrieve some wine. Thank you, though. I appreciate the offer. Yeah, I'll retrieve the wine, I think.
Standing there as a sidebar, I'll say in Wild Speak to Wes, he seems to be saying he takes from those who have too much and don't use it correctly and gives it to those that need it.
So he doesn't just give it to himself?
And it looks like he keeps a little bit to keep himself up and going, but not anything that he shouldn't.
I won't be using any of this. He can have any of this stuff.
I think there's lessons for all of us to learn here. We'll teach him, won't we?
Stealing is bad.
Maybe you should talk to your red dog about that.
I do. All the time.
Obviously, no one else understands, but Madriana just talking to Wes and then just gives out this little chuckle and looking at the red dog. Yes.
Actually, the fox I think
to
isn't here. I
Hatsu-
think it's still in the woods. Because he sent it off last week.
Oh, yes,
So,
of
but
course.
alluding to the red dog, yeah.
Yeah.
I said this like
So
I had
Hatsu,
like my
it
brain
sounds
went.
like a
I had to remember. Sorry, Hatsu. Go ahead.
sounds like a memory. He's just He thinks they talking in music or something, like the birds would do.
I also want to say is while I was talking to Wes and while I've been listening to Dash, I have been like tapping away on the side, like the what do you call it? The bit that holds your blade, not your
hilt?
saber, not hilt. That's the part of the blade, the like the scabbard kind of thing for the blade, and I've been tapping on it in my what's it called? Frick is it called? I wanted to say tack talk, but it's not. It's
Language? Takatok?
tack talk.
Tack-talk.
Yeah.
Love the way that sounds.
And I've just been saying, is this on the up and up now? As in, like, is this the truth? Just to see if anyone notices and if they reply.
Which speak was it? Sorry.
Duck.
The card? Takatak?
Yeah.
Lissa
would-
would reply. Yeah.
As would Dash.
That's what I was waiting for. I was
Simply-
actually waiting to see if Dash would do it, but it's okay.
Yeah. Simply, yes. For the most part.
Should just say yes. Because it takes a while.
Yeah. We'll stick with yes.
Cool. Well, shall I help you, Eos, to put the fire out? And shall we head back inside?
Don't worry about it. Eos just blinks her eyes and the fire goes out.
Nice.
That
You-
is definitely going to come in handy one day.
Have you ever got into any sort of bother for those kind of skills?
Perhaps.
Yes. Kind of throw a side look to Lissa. Interesting group. I imagine we may need to speak to someone about the arrangements then, shall we?
I'm sure we can figure it out.
I'm
Tomorrow's
sure they
problem?
already know.
I suspect as much, yeah. Don't think much gets past them here.
Madriana and Lissa, you would both react to a sudden sound coming from the woods.
Bad sound.
Just movement.
I just click the hilt off the scabbard.
She pulls a dagger out and she flips it backwards in her hand and she just takes a low position. Presumably hiding a little bit.
Seeing that, I'll draw my rapier as well. Well, I don't have it on me, do I?
I say very quickly to Wes in Wildspeak, is that your red dog coming back? Or something else?
I'll turn near to the woods. What does it sound like?
Make a perception check for me, please.
Perceiving. I can do that. Sheet open. Roll a perception. Oh.
10. It's pretty hard to tell. It's pretty hard to tell. It's there's like a faint noise in the back.
If it is, you wouldn't know it.
Is there any like aggressive sounds?
No, it sounds more quiet.
Okay. I just skulk up to the edge of the woods, like really quiet, really small, making myself unseen as much as possible, and try and have a look to see what I can see.
Sure. So, at first you see Chicken just hop over the bush and come out, but the sound persists. There's something else. Chicken comes out and leaves the bag of sand down in front of Westlin. And a person starts to walk through, but they have these long, curled back brown horns, bright blue eyes, and brown hair coming down. Very human face, but like this thing. They're wearing like a sort of sleeveless white cardigan, but underneath it's almost made of leaves. There's this kind of sweater they're almost wearing beneath it that's made of mostly leaves. They step out. Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hi. You're all students here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very pleasure. Very nice to meet you. My name is Delphini. I'm one of the teachers here. I was following this lovely little fellow here.
Oh, good to meet you. Yes, you may want to speak to Wes about that. That's his red dog.
Oh, he's quite lovely.
Does this person look like the person in the hall, right, when we first came in?
Yeah, she has legs that are similar to a goat as she walks out.
Okay.
You would have met her before, yeah. Oh, you would have seen her before. Met is a strong word. You would have seen her before.
Mm-hmm.
She looked familiar. Besides that.
Besides that, not really, no. I think this would be the first time. I'm trying to think. I think this is the first time you would have seen her.
You have an introvert?
Yeah, I'll do it in a second.
You meet Chicken. Come with Chicken here.
Is this is Chicken?
This is Chicken.
Oh, he's quite lovely.
is good red dog.
Yes. He seems very lovely. Is he house trained? Can he?
House trained?
Yes. Is he? Does he know how to live indoors without making too much of a mess, or is he more of an outside thing?
Chicken do what chicken wants.
Okay.
All the time. No rules. No rules he does well.
Right. I'll pass it along, and we'll make sure he has a nice dog area put into your room for you. You find them a lot on this island. There are foxes here. They're white and gray and orange. They're quite lovely.
This wood's yours?
No, I just like these woods. They're nice.
Can I go in?
Oh, I assume so. It would be. I'm sure that's fun. Huh? And she turns and she's like, kind of looks up behind her, and she's like, "Oh, right. Yes, it's good. Mostly during the day. We don't know what lives on this island. We haven't seen any threats, but it's easier during the daytime if something happens for us to find you. So it's good to be safe."
What was she looking at?
Are you asking her? Or are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
She just kind of looked almost above her, behind, and then she turned around and started speaking to you.
Did I see her speaking to someone, like, or taking direction?
It seemed kind of like she was just like getting information from someone. Yeah, as if she turned to one of you. You told her, "Oh, don't go in during the night," and then she was like, "Oh yeah, of course." Continued.
Cool.
So
I'll
what do
collect
we...
my bag of sand and hand it to her.
Oh, thank you very much. She opens it, and it's a little bag of sand. She's like, "It's lovely, thank you."
His gift.
She takes it out and she sort of sprinkles a little bit, and it turns into like glitter and floats, and it looks really nice. Oh, this is lovely.
Might I ask, Delphine, what brings you out here this hour?
I was just walking. It's a nice night. It gets a little stuffy in there. There's a lot of people. I find it a little bit more pleasant to be among the trees and nature, and it's just more, it's a nicer experience.
Yes, is obviously nodding and agreeing with that.
What are all your names?
I'm Dash.
Yes.
This is my friend Lissa.
You do that, and she's just not there, and she's like, oh. You have an invisible friend. Okay.
No, she was. I hate when she does this. She was. Never mind. She'll make herself known when she wants to.
And the rest of you?
I am Madriana.
Nice to meet you.
And you?
She's quite small. She's smaller than all of you. She's about 3'4".
Yes.
She kind of waits expectantly of like the others to reply, like Westlin or Hatsu, and she's like, okay. Well, is there anything that I can do to help you? What are you guys doing out here so late? I'm sorry, I should have asked.
I was chasing a fox. That one that I thought was that one, but wasn't. Okay, I realize now how this sounds if I'm chasing an imaginary fox and try to introduce you to someone that wasn't there. I'm not insane.
You're eccentric, and I like it.
I need wine. And Dash. I shall see you around. And Dash is just kind of start making his way back to the.
You get knocked unconscious again, and no, I'm just kidding. No lessons learned.
God damn it.
She talks to you guys for a little while, and she seems nice and friendly. It is kind of winding down, and obviously Chicken is back, so she does slowly walk towards the school, and you guys can walk with her or not with her. That's entirely up to you.
I'm gonna hang back a bit behind everyone. I'm watching for feet size, for the gait in their step, the kind of levels of indentation that they leave.
Yeah, like it all seems natural, normal. You can make a survival check for me and give me the number if you want to.
Yeah, essentially I'm bookmarking it in my head so that if I ever go tracking, I can either find them if I need to, or that I know that that's theirs and not someone else's.
Okay, yeah, just make a survival check. Tell me what the number is then when you...
Well, let's hope it's good then. That would be a 11.
11, okay. Yeah, you get the general idea, but it's not like a foot that you've kind of ever seen. It's a hoof, so like it could be confused with, say, a deer or something similar. Probably a doe, like a smaller type of foot. Given her size and stuff like that, she isn't leaving much of an indentation. She's quite slender as it is anyway, so she's not very heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's for the rest of the group as well. I want to know what their stuff is as well, so that, again, like I said, if I ever need to track them specifically or know whether it's their tracks, I can eliminate that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll sort of, you just keep a mental note of the fact that you've done this, and I'll probably make you do a survival check at the time, but maybe I'll, like, if it's a situation that warrants it, I'll pose advantage or something to kind of say that you're studying this. Yeah.
I'll stick that on my sheet then.
Hatsu is just super confused. He was asked to make fire. The fire got lit for a little bit, then it got erased. Then they were supposed to hunt somebody down, and he just doesn't understand why they don't try to chase the intruder or whatever. Whoever that Lissa worked with is just an intruder that has to get caught and bring to justice, and he just doesn't understand that they just start things and quit them, and he doesn't understand what's going on, like, period.
Hell yeah.
Feel like
He's
that's
just
become a
looking
part of the
around
trait.
like hyper confused, like.
Yeah. As you all make your way back to school, it is quite late, so it's obviously dark, moonlight, midnight kind of thing. You can go wherever you want. The school's not locked down or anything like that, but the logical place to go would be the dorms and whatever. So she separates off, and she Tiffany goes to her own space.
Oh, yeah, I'd have gone ahead, as I said, and into the dorm and just crack a bottle of wine and kind of sit and contemplate, kind of say out loud to myself, how did she get the better of me again? I'm going to have a look around and see if she's watching me.
Sure, make a perception check and just tell me the number then.
Mm-hmm. That's a 13.
Doesn't look like she's anywhere to be seen.
Why is she so damn cool? Drinks the wine.
Hell yeah.
Hatsu kind of sneaks up behind Dash because he recognizes he's like looking around and shit, and he goes like behind him, like right-ish, and he takes his left finger and tips on his left shoulder, and the moment he turns with him, so there would be nobody around to see.
Can I try see him?
Yeah, you can make a perception check versus a stealth check. Both of you roll and you can make the number. Or you can make investigation, sorry, rather than perception.
Oh no.
Alright, give me the numbers, boys. What you got?
Oh my god.
7.
Oh.
19.
You like, as you're going out, Hatsu, he just sees like the back of your body as you're like moving back out the door. He just sees the trail.
No. He is turning while he is also
you're
turning.
still staying in the room? Oh, then he just turns and he looks straight at you. Yeah.
I'm turned with him behind his body, if that makes sense.
He got over double the points in the roll, so yeah, he sees you. Like, he turns a little quicker than you expected or had anticipated, yeah. You're used to Boreal, who's just a little slower.
Hatsu,
Well,
how
I
are
thought-
you that quiet?
I don't know. Maybe I have cat paws or something. I don't know.
Does he have cat balls?
I
Foreshadowing.
just wanted to see how easy it is.
Apparently, it is all too easy. That's both you and Lissa sneaking up on me this evening.
Yes,
and
some might say that it's
Well, you
extremely
can-
easy, to be honest. I'm quite surprised.
Well, you
Wait, is that
passed
Lissa in the room?
the first.
Yeah.
God. And where did you come from?
Hatsu, you were speaking. I apologize. I interrupted you. She just sits on the edge of the bed.
Dash is freaking out a little bit, like.
When she sits on the bed, she starts petting Chicken, who you didn't realize was also in the room.
Can I try and steal his glass out of his hand without him noticing?
Everybody's just in Dash's room.
Yeah.
No.
He went off like a moody teenager.
Why does this sound like a Family Guy skit?
You can make a sleight of hand check versus his passive perception, which isn't, to be fair, isn't incredible.
Not your traditionally built rogue.
You definitely got it. Yeah. With a 23, you got it.
I'll try to pour myself some more wine and realize it's gone.
I just stood in front of you with a glass.
Yeah, you
Thank
just
you
go
for
to
this.
pour it. It's just like, oh.
Everybody get out!
And I put my arm out to Lissa because Eos isn't there with me. And if she takes my arm, I just start walking out with her and just be like, he's quite the moody one, isn't he? Has he always been like this? And just idle chit chat with her as we kind of head out.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know. It's quite strange. She just walks out with you as well, listen. Yeah.
I'm gonna do another sweep of my room, make sure there's nobody else in here. Chicken, please get out.
Make an investigation check.
What that's happening is down in the main area, just having a cup of tea, sitting by the fire.
Okay.
Choose off.
13.
She's off and sitting by the fire. Okay. 13. You look around the room, and yeah, Chicken is like underneath your jacket, and he's got like his little nose sticking out, pretending to hide.
Chicken, would you like to get out, or would you rather stay here with me for the night? Because I'm going to lock this door.
You do- Chicken doesn't move, but you just see the tail moving beneath the coat.
I'm going to lock the door.
Click.
And double check that it's locked. Like, go to unlock
click.
it, lock it again.
Yeah. You pull on the handle, it seems fine. As if there
I'll
aren't
check.
like 19 people in this dorm who have like lockpicks and stuff. You're fine.
Yeah, and I got to check the window as well. Lock the window, open the wardrobe, make sure there's nobody in the wardrobe, and look under the bed.
The rest of your party come out of the wardrobe.
Yeah, we're all watching him from his bed, like as he's trying to lock the room up.
That would actually be amazing. Yeah, perfect. Adriana, as you walk down the stairs, then you hear the click on the door, and then you hear the click, 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 click. He's just checking that he's locked it, the rattling of the door and everything. You know that familiar sound, and it's just in the back of your head because your passive is wild for your level.
Does he really know how to work?
Well, there are other ways in. I'm sure he'll figure it out eventually. You see Eos sitting on the couch. She has her like boots off. She seems to be unwinding, and this might be the first time you've actually ever seen her in a relaxed state.
Okay.
So that is just because that's something you said you wanted to note was people's energy shift and stuff. That's
Yeah.
something that you would note, yeah.
Perfect. When Lisa said that to me about, I'm sure you'll find other ways in, was there any glances towards like me or my pack or anything? Like, do I
From
get...
Lissa? No.
Yeah.
No, but
that
Lissa's
was
the
just
kind
an
of...
idle line. That wasn't
Yeah, it was a passive
directed
thing.
to me.
But
Okay.
also, Lissa's the kind of person, and you completely understand this because you've been around these people before. She's the kind of person that if she wanted to know what was in your backpack, she would have known before you even found out that she existed. Whatever's in there, she's probably aware of it at this point. Like, she's not... Like, if she
Right.
really wanted to, she
Okay.
would have. Like, it's too late now. Does that make sense? So,
Gotcha. Okay.
if she
But
wanted to
that
rob all of
wasn't
you blind, she would
directed
have
at
done
me.
it. No, it was directed more at Dash. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, as he gets to the bottom and says, Eos, would you like a drink? I'm happy to serve.
He just wakes up for like light nap, going, "Be very, very kind of you. Peppermint tea, please." And I think maybe Hatsu might want a cup.
Hatsu?
Like
Would you like a drink?
19 chicken balls in his mouth. Oh, power balls, sorry.
He doesn't
Powerball.
eat chicken.
Yeah,
He
Powerball,
doesn't like
sorry.
chicken. He doesn't actually know how chicken tastes,
That's fair.
but he would
Like a
agree
fox.
to a tea.
Oh my god. How do I give you D inspiration for threatening foxes?
And Lissa, as you are obviously our guest now, would you like a beverage?
I will make myself scarce tonight, but I'm sure I will see you all during the week. Eos, once again, I apologize if I upset you earlier. It was never my intention. Unless I steal from you, but by the time you're upset, I'll be gone, so...
Ace gets up out of the couch. She's a little bit stiff, and she just bows and says, "Lovely to meet you."
She reaches out a hand to give you like a handshake more than anything.
It's very awkward. She's never shook anyone's hand before. But she kind of like grabs with both hands and just
Perfect. Yeah.
Did you do anything else?
Make a... It'd be investigation or perceptions 50-50 for me based on what you're doing, so you can have either or.
Well, I'm watching, so yeah, I'd say probably perception.
I'll give you
More
perception,
likely, right?
because you're not trying to see what she did, just if she's doing something.
Yeah,
That's why I'm calling you 50-50 though, because it's kind of, you can do the before or after.
that's fair. 13.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
She sort of nods to you all, or whoever can see her, and she just goes out the main door. You get the impression that by the time the door closes, she's probably gone already, even if you open the door to chase her. What are the rest of you doing?
Just in his locked room, Dash is just having that flood of embarrassment, realizing Lissa probably heard him say that she's so cool. You're like the teenage boy thing when you think back and you're just like, oh no.
Great teenage boy. I still
love
do that
so
now.
much. Yeah, I love that so much.
Thinking like that thing you said 15 years ago. I was like, oh no, I should have said that.
Dash is awake at 3 a.m. like, what did I do? Yeah. No, that's perfect. I'm
gonna serve the teas, and I'm gonna try peppermint tea as well to try and stay within the group's expectations for the evening.
You think she'd enjoy peppermint tea? Like, how do you
Probably
feel?
not. She'd probably fucking hate it, if I'm being honest.
What do you mean this is dry?
Yeah, it's like, what is this warm beverage like? Bleh, kind of thing. But she'll stomach it for the sake of good graces.
And Irish up this tea. No worries.
Just pours whiskey in it. There you go. Yeah.
Peppermint schnapps. There you go. Westland, what are you doing, my friend?
Well, so everybody's drinking, so he will.
Your biggest
have
coffee, please.
He'll have a very large wooden stein of beer
Ooh.
conjured. He doesn't seem to be very far from a mug when he's in the living room here, living area.
Yeah.
I'll be happily serving that as well to him.
He'll take a seat on the couch. Across the way.
Perfect, yeah.
Warm. It's warm.
Warm.
Warm up.
Perfect. And Hatsu, my friend. I haven't heard from you yet. What are you doing, my friend?
Hatsu's moving over to the magic plate, and he kindly asks for his power balls, 6 in total.
Yeah, they appear. No
And
problem.
he bows like a little bit, and he puts them in like a bandana, and keeps them safe. Puts it in a pocket, and he takes his teeth like that.
Yeah.
And he goes as unnoticeable as possible towards his room.
Okay. Perfect. The night is quiet. There's no real events. There's nothing crazy happening. The school is sort of finding its comfort. So you don't hear people necessarily wandering the halls too much because people just want to be in their room and they're tired. They've had long days. They're getting used to this place. You don't hear too much activity or crazy things. The occasional explosion sound from down the hall, the same kind of things that probably happen anywhere that wild magic sorcerers may appear. But beyond that, it's an uneventful night and it's quiet. Out through the window, you do see the ship docked. Massive and looming. Beautiful metal. But it's a quiet night. Are you all going to sleep?
Yeah, Eos will take her ease, finish her tea, wash up, and head off to her room. Time for a bath and to get ready.
For those of you that did, feel free to take a long rest and mark off some spell slots and stuff like that. And replenish if you did. I'm not sure that anyone really did anything, but just in case. I know that Richard needs to because he accidentally marked one off. He messaged me, so I have to remember to do that later.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, bar that snapping awake in the middle of the night with embarrassment. Yeah, Dash is going to sleep. It'll probably just like
sits up bolt right at like 4 a.m. What did I do?
bolt upright, sat
Bolt
just at the
upright.
windowsill, just head in his face, just looking out the window, and just shaking his head for 5 minutes and then back to sleep.
Yeah.
I was
With
going through another routine of attempting to sleep. Laying on the couch, closing his eyes, staring at the ceiling, counting chickens, staring out the window, pacing in the room, and greets the dawn at the table with another beer, but still awake.
When you set up, Chicken is with you, and Dash, when you unlock your door to go down, you realize the Chicken is out there already, sitting next to Westlin.
Did I? No, he definitely was. Weslin, are you awake?
Yes. Are you?
Yes. Is chicken magical?
What does this mean?
Do you understand? What's the word? Teleportation?
Stares at you. It clearly does not understand that word.
I'll take that as a no. I locked my door and chicken was in there, but now he's out here.
Yes.
I don't know why I bother. Never mind, that's a fascinating animal. He's wonderful.
Chicken is Red Dog Dream. Who are dream. Chicken goes in the dream where chicken wants to.
Do you think you're dreaming right now?
Yes. Each day is a dream.
When was the last time you woke up?
For 4 days? 5 days?
5 days. What happened on that day? Were you here? Or were you on the way here?
Was in whole new dream.
In a whole new dream.
No, whole.
Oh, in a whole...
Low
In the
down
ground?
grounds.
Yes, I understand.
New
What were
dream.
Now is a new dream, or that was a new dream? Now is new dream?
Yes. And yes.
Find it hard to piece these dreams together.
Yes. Each time.
Yes.
New? You are new. And then... oh. And there will be a new one.
I saw you speaking with Amadriana in another language last night.
Vertifield,
Is that more comfortable for you to speak?
you speak Vertifield?
I do not. No.
Room?
Speak what, sorry?
Throom.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
Speak. Oh, you do not speak the tongue.
Unless it
It's
is...
okay. I speak with you in these words.
Well, you're doing a fine job. Probably takes a bit of practice if you haven't used it regularly, but we'll get there.
Use it each day, but in this dream, the words are strange and
Yes.
large, and I don't know how they mean.
Yes, I think I must offer my apologies for that. I have a tendency to use quite an extended vocabulary in an attempt to impress some fancy people.
What?
Would
Big
you
words.
prefer if I use small words?
Small words. Old, are a good way to speak.
Wonderful. Good. I'll use small words.
Good.
Tea? Would you like? Oh, it's a bit soon for beer for me, but I'll get you a beer. I'll go and get him a beer and myself a tea.
No problem.
He also wakes in her room. She's feeling very low, lonely today. It's the furthest time she's ever been away on purpose, away from her home. It's starting to hit her a small bit.
Yeah.
She makes her bed, gets ready, brushes her hair, opens the window, checks on Ducky, and he's gonna head straight to him.
Okay.
A little bit of comfort.
You cross the sinking sands to Ducky.
No!
You
I
cross the
refuse.
sands to Ducky. Arthax!
God damn it.
You go see Ducky, and they're in the middle of like feeding them and making sure that they're okay and checking on them. So it's a nice thing. You're kind of there for that moment, which would be probably one of the more exciting moments in the day besides actually being let out to run. Ducky's happy. It's clear. Like, Ducky's thriving here. Like, this is a good space for Ducky. Yep.
Ah. Excellent. Spend about half an hour just brushing, just checking on him. Just looking around, seeing if anything else needs to be done, but stables are kept fine anywho.
Yeah. With you,
All
it can
good.
just be personal time. You don't need to work on it.
Perfect. Thank you.
And the rest of you?
I'd say Adriana went to bed as she does normally, spends a little bit of time looking out over the balcony, looking at the beach and this massive metal monster, as Wes described it. Wonders kind of where that technology might have came from. I know what she was told, but just seems too familiar to not be having something to do with it.
Sure.
She'll squat down like, as she normally would do, with her back against the balcony wall. She'll unpack herself and stretch and kind of give herself that little bit of breath, that bit of air through, and just enjoys the breeze for a moment. And I'd say, like, after maybe a little while, she kind of just naturally enters like a docile state. Not like the likes of
Zen.
other people. Yeah, it would be more just mentally aware, but physically shut off just to relax the body.
Of course.
I'd say she'll wake up not in the same position. She would have eventually relaxed enough to also stretch herself out a bit more, and would be kind of, she'd still be by the balcony.
Right.
She'd still be laid, she'll be laid flat, like outstretched, like stretching every part of her kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then she'll get up, look out over the fresh morning light and stuff, just kind of reflecting on the day before, categorizing all the stuff that she needs to remember, putting it away in her, memory warehouse, selecting the right files for each of the people she's met and what they've done and what she knows about them. And then she'll go and get herself ready for the day. She packs her pack away properly. She'll go and clean herself up. And
one of the things just before you go out, on the beach below, like you can see down from your balcony because you're on the actual balcony, not the window that they've made for you, but you're on your actual balcony. So you're only kind of like a floor or two up, which is still quite high. But you look down and there's a small female walking. She stretches a little bit and you kind of watch it side-eyed. You're interested because it's not like you've got anything else to look at, right? So it's just something different. And she sort of stretches to get limber, and then she starts to run, and she gets faster and faster and faster until she's running at a speed that's just superhuman. And you understand suddenly why she's here. She starts jumping obstacles, but at a distance greater than she should be able to. She starts taking larger steps than she should be able to. Like she's moving at incredible speed. She's moving with haste. Yeah.
She's
Don't
dashing.
say it. Damn it!
I will end you in game eventually.
Chalk one up on the dash bond counter.
Yeah, I know. I still need to set that up for him. So sorry, you keep asking me and I keep forgetting.
do I see Eos going out to the stables?
Yeah, it would probably be
area?
after. It'll probably be after that, but yeah, because you guys will be waking up around the same time. So I'll say that after the running person. Yeah.
She just, there's that instinctual like pull back for a second, kind of draw herself back in, make sure she's unseen, and then she'll look back over and watch as Eos kind of playfully messes around with Ducky, I guess, if they're out in the running field and stuff.
You take your sniper rifle off your back and you just
We need to get the burger meat from somewhere.
Oh my god.
There goes that Burger King sponsorship.
oh man.
I see you're the one that named him. I didn't.
Forced it into it.
Yeah. Orca King. Anyway. She'll go and clean herself up, clean her face off, brush her hair, replace the mask.
Yeah.
And heads down.
Nice. You head back through the window and you turn around and there's like, obviously it's back to being, like 100 stories high overlooking the island, beautiful view. You make your way down the hallway, or to the room. The only person I haven't heard from yet, I believe, would be Hatsu. If you want to.
Hatsu kind of clings out his meditation, and he does turn off the candles, and in the pitch black he's lifting his mask just a little bit so he could get some power bolts in, and he eats his 6 power bolts for breakfast as he usually does, and he drinks the peppermint tea that is already cold, and he pulls back down the mask And he's doing his morning sports routine, which like push-ups in handstand and some figures he would train every day, and some sword stances he would train every day. And then when he's done with all of this, he would approach the common room, and he speaks a little louder than usual, bows down like a little bit, and he says, "Good morning, Nakama." But he says it in Abyssal.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Now, there's a tongue I haven't heard before. That's
Sorry, it's what it's called. Nether speak, I guess.
Nether speak, yeah.
You continue to impress me, Hatsu. I'd wondered if I might ask a favor of you, actually. You may have noticed yesterday, and perhaps even before, I find I get startled far too easy. At least when the more stealthy of you are about. You seem quite a disciplined fellow. I wonder if, at some point you may be able to assist me with that. I would like to not be alarmed quite as frequently as I have been the last few days. You seem to be quite knowledgeable in that area.
He looks at Dash, and he kind of bows a little bit again, and then he said, "That would be an honor for me if you would join my class," but he says it in Abyssal.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
He nods with his head.
Well, I take that as a maybe?
He points to a point behind Dash.
I'll look.
The moment he's looking, he's trying to hide.
He's just Batmaned out of there. Yeah,
I
and I'll
knew
leave
it
it up to
was
you if it
coming,
worked or not. If you want to contest it, you can.
Joe, I just gotta let it work.
Nice, he's just gone.
I fear the lessons may have begun.
Every time you talk about eating the power balls, I always think of like the Lord of the Rings, like it's like one small bite is enough to fill a 4-man. How many did you eat? 4? I feel like you're eating like 6 of these things, and it's just like they're supposed to last you like a week.
To be fair, he just eats them in the morning, so
Yeah.
he kind of powers through that all day.
I would like to, if possible, go and seek out Remington.
Yeah, no worries, it's easy. He's probably in his office.
Cool. Yeah, I'll head along there and knock thrice upon the door.
Cool, yeah, you do, and the door just opens by itself. Who is... Hello?
Hello, sir. And I'll take a leaf out of Hatsu's book and just do a slight bow.
Oh, that's not necessary here.
Thank you. I might have a word if you have a moment.
Yes.
Wonderful. I don't think we've been properly introduced. My name is Dash Heidman.
The stowaway, yes.
Yeah. Well, that answers my first question. I have a slight suspicion that you expected me somehow.
Your proper uniform is in that box over there behind you.
Thank you. I'll go to the box and open it up.
It's a beautiful uniform. Like, it really suits the kind of style that both your suit and your leather armor would have. This kind of clean sheen, it almost looks made by your mother. It really looks like something you would wear anyway.
This is gorgeous. Thank you. Wow, holy fuck. I mean, thank you.
Yes.
Very much appreciate that. My apologies.
Dash, there's no need for formalities here.
Thank you. It's
The door closes to give you privacy.
how did you know that I would come here?
We have a hand in very many things. And we have been doing this for a long, long time.
The unlisted, I assume I haven't taken her place.
No, and she knows that too. We've already spoken. The day she arrived. She has her own dorms. She's quite happy with them.
Of course. Excellent. I think I have a lot to learn.
Perhaps, but I think you're doing a lot of your learning already.
So it seems. I must be honest, I struggle to see my value here compared to the others, the things that Eos can do. She put out fire with her eyes. Adriana just slips around like, well, quite like Lissa. Wesleyan, obviously, he's a incredibly unique individual, and Hatsu, well, quite frankly, he scares the shit out of me in the most wonderful way.
Yes.
They're all so talented, and all I can do is lie my arse off and hope for the best.
Oh, am I missing something? Why is that a detriment to you?
Well, what use is that in the face of these talented individuals?
Dash. At home, in Palparoth, how have you earned such a living? And how have you helped so many needy? If you have no discernible skills, of course.
I put it down to blind luck and the stupidity of the elite, to be honest. They don't expect someone to show up and pretend to be like them. They take a look at the superficial and they see it as real. So when I show up in my fake suit and my fake accent, they just accept it and open the doors for me. I couldn't, sneak in the way Alyssa does, or rely on others to open the doors.
When you look at me, what do you see, Dash?
The big purple amulet.
Yes. I meant more status. Opulence is, of course, distracting, but who am I?
The headmaster, I guess you would call
Very
it.
good. So, in that sense, you see me as what I do. Excellence is not achieved by simply being, it's by doing. You are what you do. If you want to be excellent, be excellent. You don't get to define yourself as... if you call yourself terrible, of course you can, then you will be terrible, but I don't see that at all.
Well, I know I'm very good at lying. And
Yes. Well...
trickery. I can put out a few card tricks if needs be. You really think that's
At the start
worth...
of next week on Greenleaf, we are going to test everybody's skills, and everyone who's here has a very personal challenge. I think yours will make you distinctly aware of your actual abilities.
I look forward to it.
As do I.
Thank you. Remington. Hold out a hand.
He shakes your hand with, like, it's like the perfect handshake, too. This is a man who's shaking all hands. Dash, while you're here, could you do me a favor?
Yes?
Would you watch over Eos for me? She is going through a lot, but she's a very good person. She needs a little bit of support.
Of course, yes, I gather this might be outside of her usual comfort zones.
When you look the way she does, or that I do, it's not easy to fit in the normal world. I have my tricks, but she has not got hers yet.
I can imagine it did take me aback quite a lot when I arrived. Well, not just Eos, but everyone. I'm not used to so many... don't know if there's a polite term, but non-humans.
Yeah. It's part of the charm of this place. Yeah.
Fascinates me endlessly, I must say. I am looking forward to getting to know them, and of course I will keep an eye on Eos. Is there anything specific you recommend that I could do to make her time here? I don't know if easier is what's wanted, but more palatable.
Advice that I will give to you and your entire group, and to anyone who listens. Your life is built around you by the things that you include, your friends, your family. The choices you make all amount to quality. But the quality of your life is defined by your thoughts. Remove the parts that are difficult. Keep the parts that are easy. And improve the quality of your life. It's much easier to think better when you have the right people around you. Look to Eos. Help her with that, but stay vigilant for that same thing. I think the quality of your life will improve a lot if the quality of your mindset does.
I'll try. I gather there's a reason you've placed all of us together, as I imagine it's the same in every other dormitory.
He chuckles and he leans back and he pats you on the back. See, you are a bright boy.
Thank you. And Dash is gonna straightens his jacket, ties his suit button. I take my leave, sir.
Very good. I do have an appointment, so that would be good. Take the box with you.
Oh, of course.
As you
Good day.
step out, there's like the giant Minotaur standing there, and he's like, "Excuse me." And he like gets past you and goes in.
Stand aside.
The door seems to expand slightly to allow.
Yeah, Dash just takes a moment. I think he would never really have seen this kind of magic before, and so any time anything like this is happening, he's just... I mean, he's trying to be, stern and straight-laced and all that, but can't help but widen his eyes in amazement every time he sees something like this.
Yeah.
So he makes his way back with the box and place it in the dormitory.
Yeah. As you enter the dormitory again, everybody's sort of sitting around doing their thing, except for Eos, who's with Ducky. There's an extra space built into the wall now for Chicken. It's a smaller door. It looks kind of like a doghouse almost, but if you look inside, there's actually quite a large space in there as well. He's already in there eating a roast chicken. Where that came from, probably not worth asking. As the day begins, if there are any actions that you wish to take, we can certainly do that. We can take our time and go through your day. Or this might be a good opportunity for us to move forward and start pushing towards where we actually give you guys some tests.
There's one thing Hatsu would do, because he has never been that long without his swords.
Mm-hmm.
So not that he is reliant on them, but they have
missing a
emotional
limb.
value for him. So
Yeah.
he's trying to get more information to like know his stuff is safe, and when he does get it back, nobody talked to him about it, and he quite doesn't understand the concept of this lush kind of, yeah, we go ahead, it will be all good kind of thing. He's like, he knows a strict plan, and he hates when he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. How would you like to try and get this information? What do you want to do?
I would say he would get around the school more and observe first. And when he would kind of figure out where that stuff might be stored, he would ask somebody that he would feel responsible for that.
Right. There's a gentleman named Gig. I think you guys saw him before. I'll get a picture up in a sec. He has blue skin, bluish hair. He's very tone. What would most likely be the case is because he's responsible for extracurricular activities as well as primary, he might be the best bet of someone to speak to who either would know where they are or may have them. If and how you approach him is entirely up to you.
So he would go straight ahead, like he would raise his hands, one hand, the right hand in front of his chest, and he would bow like a little bit.
Yeah.
And he would go, good day, Mr. Geek son. Summer. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm a little bit emotional.
Hey, welcome. What can I do for you? Why are you emotional, friend?
Well, let's say my belongings have a very specific value to me, and I have never been without my soul carriers for that long. And I would love to know when I can get them back and if they are okay.
Sure. Would you like to see them? Is it like an emotional?
If you don't mind.
Yeah. Come on. And he brings you down into like where the armory is, basically. So, where are you from? I think I can guess, but
Name is Toshitsugu Hatsu.
oh, I know your family. Good people. They don't judge based on this, and he makes like a little whirlwind in his hand and it goes away again.
Oh. Even if I'm quite fascinated how that works, but no, we're not afraid of things.
That's good. Your friend, brother is here as well, right? Boreal? He's with you, right? Good kid. Needs to stay upright more, but he's a good kid.
He fell down out of his nest when he was like a little boy.
Oh.
I think some things never healed.
Right, okay, nice. Yeah, that probably would explain something, but he's a good kid. His heart's in the right place. That's important. Right, so here we are, and he leans forward and he just pushes with some wind, and all of the blocks begin to rearrange, and it opens, and there is just an arsenal in this fucking room. It is just equipped like crazy. And he's like, Toshitsugu, da 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 da. Here, nope, next one. He was at Boreal's one, he moves over to your one. Here's your swords and everything. They're in pristine condition. They're shiny, they're clean, they're nice, they're beautiful, well taken care of. They don't look like they've been touched or interacted with at all. They look exactly as they were when you gave them in.
So what Hatsu would do, like, he would sit on his legs, and he would kind of bow down a little bit in front of the swords. Then he would take the smaller one.
Before you do, he's like, whoa, hey, 1 sec. And he just moves his hand across it, and then the markings that were around it stop glowing. That could have been bad, but we're good. We're good. Nothing bad happened. I'm good.
He takes both hands to kind of get the smaller one.
Yeah.
And he bows again, and he opens it like a little bit. He looks at the blade, and he sheds it back in, and he puts it back into the rig. And he takes the bigger one, bows down again, opens it a little bit, and while he's open, there's like this gust of wind filling the room, and he goes like,
That wasn't me, by the way. I didn't do anything. That's not me.
He just clings it back into the saya, and he puts it back onto the rack with both hands, and he bows down, and he stands back up and looks towards Gig, and he bows down again, and he says, "Domo arigatou gozaimashita, master." And he leaves.
Oh, I don't remember how to say it. It's arigato domo? No, it's what? How do you say the other way around? What's
Don't touch my mustache.
Yeah, don't touch my mustache. He says, "Don't touch my mustache" to you. He says it the right way to you. He says you're welcome. He's familiar with the custom. He moves his hand across it, air blows, and that seals again, so they can't be interacted with. And then he leads you out. He closes the doorway. The doorway's closed. You get the impression that this is very well fortified and protected. Yeah. If it helps at all, you'll get it back. Start of next week. We just have them in for oversight.
May I ask one more question, Geek-sama?
Yes.
Like, since I'm here, nobody does really give introductions or tell us what we need to do, and I'm not very familiar with that concept. So
well, Toshitsugu
how
Hatsu,
can...
my name is Shiniza Geek. I am 5'7", single. He puts his hair back. It's a little bit of a different custom here. People are just comfortable. It's a comfortable air. It's like you've known each other forever. If there's something that you want from it, be that change that you want to see. Walk up to people and introduce yourself, and then they will introduce themselves to you. If you walk up and just start speaking, then they will just start speaking to you.
I don't want to speak. I want to train.
Then train you shall. You can train with the wooden tools for now on Greenleaf. You will get your tools back when we will proceed with the overall training and testing. You're going to need them.
Well, do I have to apply, or am I sad, or...
For extracurricular training?
How does that work?
Yeah, for your normal classes? No. But we will go over all of this and how classes work at the beginning of the week. We're just giving our students a little bit of time to settle. But it's good that you're eager. You're going to fit right in.
And he's still confused. He doesn't understand why. His family got him there to become a master, but it's just like a hangout, and he doesn't understand what he's supposed to do there. And he's still confused and wandering back to the boys.
Take care. Bye.
And girls
You just
to the room. Yeah.
You head back. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Over the time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, over the time before we start our classes, Amagiana wants to kind of work her way around the school, and she wants to find the place where we're not allowed to go. And she wants to try and go in there.
Sure. Okay. Which place specifically? Because I'm having trouble remembering what I've told and what I haven't. So
You
remind me for a
haven't
second.
said anything in regards to that yet.
Okay.
But she would be specifically looking for, like, if you're talking about a popular Magic franchise, it would be the library that only certain years
Right.
are allowed to go into.
Right.
That kind of aspect.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to investigate for this. So make an investigation check and give me a roll.
Okay. So I'm also going to try and do this as quietly as possible because I don't want to give myself away.
This investigation check is so that I can give you information. I didn't need that ankle anyway. Ugh.
That'd be a 23.
23. Yeah, 23. You know that you're looking in all the right places. You're checking every door, just casually as you walk by, just a quick flick to see if it opens, and it does. You know with absolute certainty you're checking all the right places, so why can't you find the doors that are locked?
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the answer. 23 is really good, so I was like, is there anything else I can give? But that's kind of, I think that there's more information in that than what you needed in the first place, so.
Yeah, no. That in itself is enough information for her as well.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else anyone else wants to do?
Yes, before we go to the montage and move on to the start of our classes,
Yeah.
there's one thing that whomever may be near the tables may see when Eos gets off Ducky.
Mhm.
Eos looks over to Whip and she just kind of grabs the handle of it and she's like, no, we'll keep that for later. And she heads back to the dorm.
Nice. That's a nice little nod. I like that. The rest of the week, the few days that you guys have, is quite uneventful. It's a little bit more bonding, a little bit more getting to know each other, but nothing too dramatic and nothing massive because you're still getting to know each other. But the night before you get up for class, besides Westland, who's already in this state anyway, a new experience comes over the rest of you where it's quite difficult to sleep. Because although this whole adventure has been so far, what the hell is happening next? Tomorrow, none of you actually know. What are these tests? Will they hurt? Are they subtle? Are they violent? Are they life-threatening? You have no idea. You don't know if you'll have the things you need. You don't know if you'll get your gear back. Hatsu knows, so I don't know if he told you guys. But the rest of you who still don't have your blades and various things, accoutrement, you have a lot of unanswered questions. And tomorrow might define for a lot of you whether or not you want to stay here. This entire week, you've gotten a few insights into each other. A few questions raised, very few questions answered. What I'm interested in finding out is what it is that Slate has been up to. So that's where I'm going to kick in after this break, because Richard has joined us. And we will take a little pause here. We'll come back. We'll get Slate in, see what he's been up to for the week. And then we'll go into your trials, which are loaded and ready to go. Good luck.
Let's go.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're going to be about 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes, so that we can get things set up here and get Richard in and see what's going on. And refill our teacups, of course. Peppermint tea on the way. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you shortly.
See you in a minute, guys.
Oh, look at that. We have our 7 slots back. Mr. Richard has joined us. We're going to have a little convo about just the casual thing. It's been a casual week. Maybe Slate didn't do too much. Maybe he did tons. I don't know. We'll have a little talk with Richard, see what he's been up to for the week. And then we'll jump into our training sessions. See how you're getting on. How you doing, Richard? You good?
All good, all good.
All good, all good. That's what I like to hear. So what has Slate been doing?
So when last we saw Slate, he was feeling a lot happier, more confident. You know, he was starting to settle in a little bit. And I suppose the last number of days he's been focusing on that, kind of exploring the grounds, getting to know people. When I say getting to know people, I mean seeing what their daily routines are, keeping an eye on things, and just getting the general flow or the vibe or what life is like on the day-to-day for everyone else in and around, and keeping an eye on, oh, this person goes to this place at that time and this person does this, and there's a regularity and a routine to everything, but that it's relaxed and normal, and that he's happy enough that it is what it appears to be, and he's taking his time to make sure that that it is what it appears to be, I suppose, is the thing, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, so you spend some time not only getting to know the people you're with, but the people beyond that, the scope of what other people do, the routines that people are building up, and trying to adapt to that. One of the days when you go back to your room, there is the knapsack that Lissa had is on your bed, and it has just tons of rations from off the island. Whether or not you addressed it with her or not is up to you. Just in case you missed it, they had she's staying in the school. She's in a different dorm, but she is part of the school. She will be around, basically.
Perfect. And I think the other thing that I would have done as part of my routine on every day would be, originally I took food from the mess hall and I had left it out, exposed to the elements, the air, the light, the wind, all this type of stuff. And on a daily basis, I would have been checking on it morning, noon and night to see, is it deteriorating as regular food? Like, how is it affected? How is everybody else affected? Is anybody affected by, you know, and not noticing any ill effects on the rest of the party or anybody else who's consuming it. I think I'd be starting to feel slightly more comfortable with it. I assume, well, I won't assume, I'll ask, does the food decay over the course of the day, or does it stay as fresh as it was?
There's a few things you pick up on. Westland is getting more and more tired. The food itself does decay. Like, food gets stale or decays, or it goes through its natural life cycle, whatever the food may be. They do go off, they get moldy even if you leave it that long. Depends on the circumstances of where you left it. But it behaves and acts, for all intents and purposes, as normal food. You notice that Eos is more relaxed. She's taking her shoes off, hanging out by the fire, that kind of thing. Whether or not that's an impact of the food or not, you don't know. But she's more chill. That is a behavioral change. I think that would be it in massive changes to behavior. Yeah, that would be it.
Perfect. I think Slate and passing anybody else over the last couple of days would have been much the same, you know, cordial, you know, collegial to a point, just sort of, you know, smile and nod like your neighbor putting the bins out, how are you, passing in the corridor type of thing. But just generally busy about making his notes and doing his rounds, as it were. And not so much keeping to himself, but keeping busy in doing that.
Cool. Yeah, you do. Yeah, nice and easy. So you're taking in a lot of the information around you, deciding whether or not this is a place you want to be. Your choice is always still there, but it is, for the most part, quite peaceful. Nobody aggressive. There's no acts of violence or anything. It's a very chill place. Yeah. Once or twice you would pass Decker. He'd still be wandering the halls. Today should technically be his last day.
Mm-hmm.
You all wake up on the morning of. Some of you wake already, of course, so probably all wake up is probably a little bit loose, but you're all present on the day of. Is there anything you guys want to do before you head down?
I guess would like to make sure that her clothes is, well, her robes specifically are as tidy, clean, and
Is
perfect
this
as possible.
the first time you're wearing your school robes?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
This is quite ceremonious for her. Make sure she's as presentable as possible. She's standing up straight, and her stride is clear and powerful.
Describe her robes to me.
Ornate, eloquent, beautiful. Various shades of purple, made of the finest fabrics of her area, as you can tell. Inscribed in areas with beautiful inscriptions of what her family legacy may have been. These are more likely older than herself, for anyone she would have known.
Nice. So it's a beautiful replica of robes that you would really appreciate and love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who's next? Go ahead.
Yeah, so similarly, Dash would have woken up quite early and had that nervous feeling in the stomach, slightly elevated heart rate, not knowing what he's in for. He has an idea of what he's in for when he's on a job. This is new to him. He doesn't know what to expect. So similarly, yes, he's gonna lay out his robes, school robes. Pick off any bits of lint, lay them on the bed, look at them, and then put them on. Dash's would be a very nice, well-fitted three-piece. Mostly black with probably flecks of white and gold. Very upper class looking, beautiful thing. It just fits perfectly. And then he'll go down to the dormitory and he'll summon up a cup of tea, and he's actually going to hopefully wait for Eos to come down the stairs.
Judging by the speed of everything here, I would say that Eos is probably one of the first. Yeah.
Should have fed her 2 boiled eggs, 2 slices toast with jam, and beautiful creamy butter. A cup of tea, peppermint.
Do you have enough tea, or would you like some more?
She just glances at you. She doesn't really talk to you.
And Dash is going to say in Lunas, "How are you feeling?"
Tilts her head. That's all you're gonna get.
Can I tell if she understands it or not?
You can make an insight check if Rory wants to contest it, or he can tell you if he wants to. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, roll it.
Let's do it.
Doesn't understand a single word you said.
It's a 19 on the insight. She didn't understand. Okay. And back to everyday. I spoke with Remington.
Mm-hmm. She turns curiously.
He was asking how you're settling in. You seemed rather concerned. Asked me to do what I can to help ensure that things are smooth, I guess, for you. So, if there is ever anything I can do to help out while we're here, I would be much obliged.
Very kind of you, Dash. Thank you. How are you getting on?
I won't lie, it's tough to keep up this act all the time. I forget that I can let my guard down with you guys here. And I'm very nervous today.
I much prefer your normal speak.
It's a habit I fall into. If I keep up that image, it helps me, in a way, avoid the imposter syndrome. I had a word with Remington asking why I'm here amongst these incredibly talented individuals, and he seems to think I have some worth here, so I'll have to trust his judgment on that one.
Oh, you clearly must have some worth. You, apart from your wonderful friend, We wouldn't have known that you were a dirty little thief.
I hid it well, although I must say, usually I don't actually have to steal.
And why did you?
Well, theft in a manner of speaking, I suppose, but my whole thing is I have the doors opened for me by the people who would otherwise have them locked. Speak to them the way I tend to speak, they just open the doors, let you in. And are almost grateful for you, taking their junk away.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it sounds a bit contradictory, but trust me, it works. At least in Palperoth. I'm not sure what that set of skills will do for me here, but I guess we'll find out. I have asked Hatsu to help me with the more physical aspects of training, like being a bit more observant. Although, considering the fact I haven't really seen much of him the last couple of days, I think I might be failing. I think he's testing me already. But my god, he's good.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, going off on a tangent. I tend to speak a lot when I'm nervous. Hopefully this tea will calm the nerves a bit.
It will. It's better for you than that red, exciting liquid you seem to drink.
Oh, trust me, that does wonders for the nerves. But it's not for everyone.
Mm.
I'll just drink the tea. And I think I'll need a coffee as well.
He just turns away and just focuses back on her eggs and toast.
So who's the next to emerge?
Hatsu would have his daily routine done, and he would have picked up his power balls and his tea the night before he went into his room. So while it's pitch black and he's having his breakfast and his tea, he kind of looks at the window where he used his school's robe to darken the room.
Okay.
Because it was way too lit for him there. So he kind of looks at it, and he discovers his family emblem on the left side of the where his breast might be when he wears it. So he doesn't want to dishonor that gift because it has his family logo and stuff. So he kind of picks it up the window. He cleans it. He cleans himself very tidy, like he is used to for a very formal ceremony. And he also discovers on the left side is the family symbol, and on the right side, where his breast would be, is a tiny little golden bee stitched into the robe as well. And he kind of figures out that it would perfectly go over his regular clothes, so he doesn't hesitate to pull it over. And he feels like the people that he saw on family pictures when there was like weddings and very formal ceremonies, and he never experienced that as part of the thing. He was almost exclusively like in the surroundings, observing, keeping threats away, looking for stuff. So he kind of feels very special that morning, because he kind of feels he's progressing, and he didn't have that in a long time. So he also, after he did his routine and cleaned up everything and got ready, he moves down, and he kind of bows a little bit, and yeah, he's kind of waiting, because he doesn't understand like which time is somebody gonna pick them up. Do they have to move somewhere? He's thinking about so many things that he doesn't understand, that it makes him a little nervous. Not that he's scared, but he just wants to move on, basically.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. All will become clear, Hatsu. Don't you worry. Who's gonna join him?
So, Madriana will wake up on the balcony, come to as such, as she always does. And she stands up, stretches out a bit more, limbers up. It's been a bit of a restless night, even within itself. So she kind of takes the extra few minutes to spread her muscles out a bit, just really limbers herself so she can move around. She looks at the outfit that was given to her from the school that's laying on the end of the bed where she left it the night before. She washes herself, gets herself cleaned up, comes back into the room, looks at it again. She goes over to the door and the door's already locked. She knows it is. She tries the door. It's still locked. And she lets out this very minor but telling, as she unlocks it, locks it again, unlocks it and locks it again. I can't believe I'm doing this. And checks that it's definitely locked. And she'll walk over to the edge of the bed. Now, when she rests for the evening, she always takes off her main armor, her main outfit.
Yeah.
But she always has her brace on with the extra pieces.
Right, yeah.
They never come off. And so, very uncomfortably and very, real disinterest in doing this, she starts
I can't hear you, listen. Is that just me?
see her, but if they could, there'd be this very visible tightening of everything. It's just, I need to hide. I need to hide like I normally hide. But she can't right now. And she'll put on the outfit that she's been given. Kind of, that kind of way where it's but I don't want to go to school today, and you're just, yanking it on and don't give a crap, and you're you don't want to go,
Yeah.
kind of way. And she gets it all on and tightens it all up. And then she's still kind of tense and wound up even within that. And she tests the part that Comet had said to her about. And she tests to see whether its functionality is how it should be.
It is how it should be, yeah.
And does she have to...
If anything, it's a lot more comfortable as well. What you were using before for this whole setup was quite...
bulky.
Yeah, you put it together, but it's not like you had a lot of help. But this is something that was built just for you. This is probably the most comfortable you've been in a long time. Other than, obviously when you're not wearing it.
Yeah. And does it compact itself afterwards? So she doesn't need to do it?
You can do it, but it's not manual. It's not automatic. It is manual, but it's not painful
easier.
And it's not uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pleasant experience for once, yeah.
Okay. That in itself, she kind of hates and resents. And yeah, it just takes a second to sit in it. And she's no. And she just undoes it and takes it off.
Yeah.
However, what she does do is, instead of putting back on her original pack, she basically tears this outfit up in a
Okay.
way that she can have it so she has that back piece, but it's where like the clothing would have come over her shoulders and that it's still there, that she can tie it off, and that it's still supporting where it needs to,
Right.
but she's not wearing the rest of the outfit, sort of thing. And then she'll put back on her own leathers.
Okay. Yeah, you put back on your old gear and your old equipment, and you feel more like yourself.
Yeah. The only bit she doesn't put back on is the original brace.
Okay.
Because she's got this one off of this new uniform that she's kind of hodgepodged used, but she feels more comfortable within her body being in her own gear.
It also looks a lot more flush.
Yeah. She'll hate herself for it, but she'll give herself a couple of looks in the mirror to make sure that everything's where it should be, and like, you know, she's as good as she can be.
Yeah.
And then she'll go over, she'll unlock the door, and whether noticeable to the others or not, she'll probably have a little bit more of a stomp to her step today that she hasn't had over this period.
Yeah, she's gonna go out there and do better than everyone else, right? So like, she has to.
Well, no, this is more of a stomp of, again, it's petulant child, like,
oh yeah, because you don't want to
go,
be here. Yeah,
like,
I got you.
doop, down the stairs, kind of, rather than her usual. Well, put it this way, Dash would be able to hear her for a change.
I'm pretty sure that with the Madriana's, what I've learned about her so far, I think her competitive nature is gonna soon take over that stroppy child energy. But we'll see.
If that's the case, if something like that is to occur, then all thoughts will go towards that. So yeah,
Hell yeah.
probably.
Let's see. So I'll go with Westland for the moment. You would already be in the room, right? I think in the common room.
Ruslan spent the night at the edge of the woods.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Maybe it's just trying something new. He waits until dawn, and bags of step under his eyes at this stage. He's a little confused, and shuffles back across the beach towards the school, but does not return to the room.
Okay. No problem. To anyone watching, it may be noticeable. To Westland, maybe not. But you're a little slower than you're used to. You're tired. You've got, like you said, bags under your eyes. You're finding it difficult to fire on all cylinders at the moment. You're struggling. With that, I'll go to Slate then. I think you're the last one, yeah?
So Slate will have probably woken up early in his room, again sitting in the position on the cold tiles, cold stone floor in the bathroom, as he's accustomed to. And like the others, it'll be the first time he's put on the uniform he was gifted, because it wasn't necessary, he didn't have to. And now that he's reaching the point that he has to, I suppose he decides like that he has to. So he goes over and, you know, starts to put it on. And obviously he's thinking about where he's from, that it's a very cold climate, and it's you're exposed to the elements quite a lot. And, you know, one of the things he notices is that the long coat, you know, it has a collar, but actually in the collar there's like a little hood, so it could have a hood, it could have a collar.
Yeah.
You know, it's perfect. In the side here there's like a little piece that goes across the face.
Yeah.
And he thinks, you know, that's pretty neat, that's great. If he was ever to leave and go somewhere that, you know, needed it, it's great. You know, it has long sleeves, and in them it has those gloves that pull out that go over your hands that are part of the sleeve, you know, so he tucks them back in and puts the sleeves back up because it's a little warm. He doesn't need them, but it's great to know they're there. And like that, the more he examines what he has, the more utilitarian he finds it, the more he thinks it's a marvel. It's something he wishes he had before. It's fantastic. It's great. It's a unique color as well. It's got a kind of a shimmer to it, which is interesting because he finds that depending on the light, it's as if the color slightly shifts. Not quite as much as a high vis, but like that, when extreme light hits a high vis, it is a different color completely, or a different, especially if it's like, let's say a pink high vis looks purple or something like that. It looks almost different, but then you look at it again in a different light and it's, the base color. So he really likes that. I think that's really cool, I suppose. And he likes feeling like he has something a little more to the clothes.
So it'd be,
I think after
like kind of pearlescent, that kind of
something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And I think after getting used to them and trying all the different sleeves up, sleeves down, hood up, hood down, all the different things, like when you put on someone's jacket that's not yours. Until he figures it out. And he starts putting things into the pockets and making it his own, etc. I think knowing that he has to go downstairs and he has to meet with everybody else, and knowing there's a day of uncertainty ahead of him, I think he'd do something that we've all done or thought about, which is where you have that imposter syndrome speech with yourself. He stands in front of the mirror and he's looking into the mirror and he's telling himself, you can do this, you're gonna be great, talking about nerves and stuff. But he's telling himself, I suppose, that you can be anyone you want. They don't know who you are, so he's psyching himself up that he can just be himself, or he can start again. And he's telling himself, this is it. So he gets all his clothes, gets everything ready, has his little speech. He's telling himself, he's been in situations where, he's had to have an assembly, I suppose, or maybe an inspection afterwards, or where you go to a meeting but you don't know the expectation behind the meeting. You don't know exactly what it's for. So he's getting those kind of nerves, that kind of feeling in the pit of your stomach where you're just, you're a little, you don't think you're nervous, but you are, because you can feel it. And it's like a test, I suppose, that you haven't quite studied for, but you don't really know. It's that kind of a vibe is what he's feeling like. So
that's a horrific feeling.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going through his mind. And then the longer he stays in the room, the longer he's wrestling with that feeling. So he just decides, just pull the bandit off and go down. And when he leaves his room, it's a quick process, because he never locks the door, he never makes the bed because he doesn't sleep in it. The room is virtually untouched. So for him, he literally just turns and walks out the door. I mean, once he was dressed, he was ready, and that was it. There's nothing to get, nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to put away.
Typical man.
I think on the way down, it'd just be about him focusing on all those feelings, which were giving him kind of like his head is swimming. He'd feel like his heart was racing, a bit of adrenaline pumping. And he just probably set off after the others, and on his way down through all the regular pathways to get down to where everywhere else is, he'd be observing everybody else that he had been having their normal routine at this time, and putting himself at ease that everything is the way it's supposed to be, because there's the people doing the things they're supposed to be doing, and just trying to not get ahead of himself or get too far into his own head. And then I think he would just catch up to the others, and it'd be that like I said earlier, that neighbor putting out the bin just kind of arrive and be like and just sort of hang around with everybody, the usual. And that's it.
And once Slate approaches, besides the fact that Westland is nowhere to be found, you're all ready to go. What do you guys want to do?
Would I be able to sense the kind of nerves and anxiety that seems to be permeating through the group?
I think all of you would. It's pretty clear. This is a big day. None of you know what to expect. I would be very surprised if any of you was just like, oh, what time does it start at? Like, where are we going? Like, I don't think that's the case. I think there's like there's a little bit of stress in the air.
I'd like to cut in there for a Matriana, because she likes to notice what she's
literally,
in feet.
like, you're gonna cut Dash?
No, just the way that Matriana likes to notice the way people are standing in their gait, I guess I think is the term for it. The way that Eos is now presenting herself. Her hood is up, she's wearing her robes. In her movements, there's a strong sense of grace and fluidity, like a dancer moving to a rhythm in their mind. The way she walks, there's confidence. There's a purpose. It reflects in the way she is. She may appear stoic and within herself, but if you catch her gaze, it is focused. She feels a purpose here.
So she'll definitely notice it, and then she'd also cop herself on, because right now she's been a bit of a moody person. Like she's not nervous so much, she's just annoyed. And then seeing how well Eos seems to be taking the morning, she kind of cops herself on a little bit as well and gives herself a bit of a wake-up call.
That's nice.
Dash is going to hand, as he'd probably notice Adriana being a bit stroppy as well. Hand her a cup of tea and then just turn around to the room at large. I think we're all... fuck the accent. We're all fucking nervous, aren't we?
Well, isn't that about bloody time?
It has its uses.
It does.
I'll keep it up, as St. Diaz. It helps keep me focused on the character that has been the most use to me.
Well, Dash, my name is Eos. And she walks off to her class.
Well, she's in a damn good mood this morning.
Hatsu just bows down like a little bit, and he says, "We got this, Nakama." But he says in Nether speak, and he follows Eos.
Well then, we all have a purpose here. I guess it's time to find out whatever the fuck it is.
Slate would uncharacteristically, like a boxer limbering up, but without the sparring, but the toe tipping from foot to foot. He's kind of stretching out and getting that. You know, he's not particularly athletic. It's not that he's, like I said, it's the boxer without the sparring side of it. He's getting amped up, and you can see it, and it would make him more visible to people, and they'd be very much aware of somebody standing beside them who's starting to do that, and then he'd just be like, "Yep, let's do it," because seeing everybody else vocalize their vulnerability, I think he would feel, in his own right, he would feel the same, and recognizing that, he would let that veil slip for a moment and let people see that he was nervous energy and had a law of it.
Nice.
Just as kind of the others are leaving, I'll catch Adriana for a moment. Have you seen Wesley?
No.
I usually find it weird.
There's still a fresh smell of chicken around here, so he can't be far.
Good. Well then, after you.
Is that your real name?
It is. I never have cause to hide the name. Not yet. Although Comet's words earlier this week might change that, but...
Do I feel like he's telling me the truth?
You can make an insight check, and Dash, you can privately roll a either deception or persuasion. It's up to you.
So I got an 8. However, I'm going to use my inspiration for that.
Okay.
So that's something I want to know. Hopefully. So that'd be a 13 instead.
And you can see my result.
With that result, you can answer it however you see fit.
He's telling the truth. You believe him.
Then In offering some trust from your way, I'll offer you some from mine. Only for you and not for everyone else to say. So please, keep that in regard when you decide to use it. But you can call me Adriana.
Pleasure to meet you at last.
Oh, it's my full name. I'm Adriana. I'm just allowing you to use a more familial term.
I assumed as much.
Also, one other question. How is it you and I seem to be the most normal here?
I guess we hide it better. Want to try drop a ball bearing into her pocket?
Oh, go for it.
It's not a hand check against the passive. Yeah, that's a normal thing to do.
Nah, that's not going to do it. 12.
12, not even close.
So as he tries to do that, Adriana just looks at him and says, "Why are you trying to give me one when I have your full bag?"
I'm out of practice.
Don't
This was
worry.
always better at that.
Don't worry, we're gonna soon rectify that. Shall we go?
After you.
I take the last few sips of my tea, place it down, and she goes to walk off confidently and then remembers that she feels uncomfortable kind of still, and is just like,
How do I walk?
yeah, exactly. That kind of like, I've forgotten how I walk. Like
That thing that
it's-
happens when you feel like people are watching you, but you have
Yes.
to walk. You're like feel
Yeah.
judged almost for walking. Yeah.
Exactly. So she's probably walking like, like a catwalk model that's like got the wrong shoes on, or that the heel's too high, or something like that.
Hell yeah.
Adriana, stop a moment. Straight shoulders, breath, left foot first.
She reluctantly does it and then walks off fine.
Dash follows.
When you reach the main corridor, there's a convergence of people that are all making their way in the same direction, so like sheeple, you follow. You follow the crowd and maintain your way. It's a long series of corridors. It's easy to get lost. Westlin, where are you, my friend?
In the crowd. I know I'm supposed to be here for something. Supposed to be here today. Today is the day. Right? Everyone's here anyway. Makes sense.
Dash, how tall are you?
6 foot.
Anyone taller than that?
Nope.
I'll say Dash then. You spot Westlin in the crowd trying to sort of follow along and figure out where he's going.
I'll point him out to Adriana. Yeah, I think clarity of instruction might be required here. Would you mind fetching Wesley?
Yes, of course. Yes, but I'll see you in class maybe. And
Sure.
I'll slink my way through everyone, just quick snake through. In wild speak, Wesley, are you okay? Do you know where you're going?
In every dream, there is a test. Is this when you cut me?
Do you feel like you're in a dream?
You dream. You and my myself and everyone.
Yes, we all dream, but this isn't a dream.
They always say that.
I mean, that's a good point, but what makes you think this is?
What's this?
Madriana, make an insight check for me.
$11.
He looks tired.
Why don't we get you to your classes for the day, and then this evening we can have a bigger talk about this. I'm truly interested in why you think we may be dreaming right now.
I'm interested in why you don't know we are. Tonight I'm going into the woods. You may come. But you might not like it.
Would you like me to?
Not particularly. But I cannot stop you. This is your dream too.
Has Slate seen or heard any of this? If we're all walking the same direction and we're all looking out for each other, have I seen the two of them talking, or have I been in the corridor to hear any of this?
You could have heard it, but only if you speak wild speak do you understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've seen them talking and I've heard them speaking, but that's all I've heard.
Yeah, you've heard chitter chatter, yeah.
Let's talk about it after class, and we'll decide then. Is that okay?
May your test leave as few marks as possible.
Hopefully, yes. You do your best today, won't you?
I always do.
Is Chicken with you?
Chicken is where chicken needs to be at the time, I guess. Is Chicken around?
Chicken will be close by. Looking at people's pockets.
I'm going to whisper out into the kind of ether around us, but it's still in wild speak, and just say, look after him today, Chicken.
Chicken suddenly stops dragging behind and starts walking. Just
See you after class, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, after class.
that's like something you hear in a movie like 5 minutes before somebody dies and you never see them again. It was like really ominous. Don't worry, we'll have this really important conversation after class. We'll wait, and we're gonna have this conversation later. You'll be fine in that dangerous test, right? Cool, man. See you in like 5 hours.
The piano falls, boom, the ceiling falls. There's a volcano erupts.
Right, the only person who died.
At least if you're the first person to have that conversation, you feel okay about them dying. But in subsequent conversations, when they say, "I'll see you later," I'm just gonna go over here, you kind of feel like,
Wait a minute. Yeah. I'll tell you this important stuff right after this. You enter a large room. Now, when I say large, I mean contextually one of the bigger rooms any of you has ever been in. It is massive. It comfortably fits the over 100 people that have come in here. And it's very, very long. The walls are like white stoned. They're absolutely beautiful. There's these beautiful engravings all over the place. There's paintings on the walls. There's all sorts of stuff. And as you look out, the room actually expands wider and goes behind the walls itself. You're in a much bigger, expansive space. The walls are lined with different things. There are targets. There are chairs and locks and chains and weapons and all sorts of stuff. There is a lot of energy in this room. This room is built for combat, for surprises, and for a lot of different things. If I was to battle map describe this, it would be like 100 by 100. It's huge. Like, we're talking a gigantic room. This room is definitely a room that's built for testing people. This is a special type of room. There's just everything you could possibly need and more is in here. But the nature of the tests, well, that's to be decided. When you guys arrive and the last few people begin to trickle in, Remington stands up on a platform, and the platform is made of this kind of small silverish material, but it expands out into a disc and lifts him up. He begins to speak, but his voice is deeper and more loud. It's outspoken. Welcome, all of you, to your trials. Each one of you was chosen for a reason. Show us that reason today. Don't hold back. And don't be patient and wait. This is a test built just for you. We know you will do well. How well you do determines your classes, determines your future here, and it shows us that you are ready. We will start with the 5th years. And he just floats down, and the disc just kind of shrinks back into its normal form. He steps down. The 5th years step up, and I'm gonna more or less surmise. Each of them steps forward, one at a time. Targets begin to float off the wall and spin around them, and they just do things to try and show that they can hit the target. Some of them throw knives, some of them use magic. For those of you who have never witnessed a spell being cast, it is remarkable. They're throwing firebolts, they're throwing lightning, they're throwing invisible daggers that appear out of nowhere and suddenly appear back in their hands. Not all of them are doing this. This is just something that they seem to be doing to warm up for whatever is about to come. And with that, there's a shake, and the building feels like an earthquake as the tremors beneath you somehow become distant. And as you look towards the edge, you realize you are going up, and the platform is rising. And as you look down where the 5th years are, a labyrinthian design begins to appear in the floor. As it rises, it isolates and secludes each of them. And you watch as they use their various powers to complete a large series of tests. Some of them are using ice to fight what looks like large monsters, creatures that you've never seen before, things that your worst nightmares would be fueled by. Some of them are running along walls and disappearing and reappearing in other places, trying to outrun being caught. One of them takes a rather large form, picks up a stick, the stick begins to glow, and he beats the ever-living shit out of the target in front of him. Some of them use fly and levitate to avoid obstacles being flung at them. But for some reason, as you watch all of these people doing their various abilities, they seem to be a lot more intense than you would think that the activity should be. You see them fighting and doing different things, but the look on their face is far more tense and apprehensive and careful than this test seems like it should be. And it's almost jarring to watch that. After a while, the 5th years, there's 20 of them, and after they're done, the platforms re-emerge where they were. They come in, and they look bloodied, messed up, They look sore. Their robes are tattered, ripped. They look like they've been through a lot. And some of them are really happy. They're like, yes! And some of them look incredibly disappointed in themselves. But again, the activities you were watching did not look as severe as the people emerging from this.
Did they all make it out?
They all made it out. The fourth years go in, and as one of them's walking in, he cracks his neck, and suddenly his skin becomes made of entire brick and stone, and he grows a little bit taller. He clicks his knuckles together, and he grows bigger, and as he does, the walls rise, the elevator rises. You see one that goes in who looks almost like a cat, and begins shooting flames at seemingly invisible targets, and suddenly gets blown against the wall and knocked unconscious. But you don't see what from. One of them begins to fill their space with water, summoning the water from beneath them. And as it rises, they begin to fight. But again, it's just targets. You can see that there are entities in there. One of them looks what you would be described as the players would recognize as a zombie. And they're fighting the zombie. But again, it's a humanoid, and it's taking it, and it doesn't look like it should be as much as it is. And when they begin to re-emerge from their tests, the cat having been knocked unconscious, but the rest making it out, but quite tattered and torn. They look far more bloodied and distraught and upset, and as if they were in a violent act that doesn't fit what you were watching. In fact, the only people who seem to be recognizing and understanding what they're watching is the teachers, as they're making call-outs and saying, oh, did you see that? This happened. Did you see them? Yeah, they did this dive. Oh, that must be this. The third years go in. As you watch this, one of them that really catches your eye because they can't help it shoots a large stream of volcanic molten lava from their hands, and it sprays across the walls. They make it out just fine, but nothing else is left in that room. One creature looks a lot like Remington, but with different colored skin, horns back, and they fill the room with shadow. And when the shadows fall, all the targets are laying down, except for him. Some of them are messing with lights and brightness. Some of them are running incredibly fast. And Adriana, one you would recognize. They seem to be struggling, but at a different pace. Their challenge was possibly easier. But again, you're watching them the entire time. As the second years go in, they are nervous because this is their second time ever doing this. Some of them manipulate the plants growing from the cracks in the ground. One of them uses what looks like pure godly light to destroy the targets in front of them. 5 of them get knocked out. Clean unconscious, carried out of this labyrinthian experience. And as they come past you, it's time for the first years.
Do I see Lissa anywhere in the crowd of first years?
You would have to make a perception check.
Okay.
Or investigation if you want, actually.
Do that. Oh, sorry, rolled privately, but that was a 10.
Make a public one sec. It was a 10. When you look around, yeah, with a 10, you'd probably see her. She's not particularly hiding here. There's not that many first years.
I'll try to catch her eye, see if she looks as nervous as Dash is feeling.
She looks more nervous than you'd be used to seeing her, but only once the bodies are brought through, because she realizes the severity of the tests that are coming.
That makes Dash nervous.
There are 17 first years, which makes you the smallest group out of the whole school.
Having seen the last 4 years go through it, is there any like developable pattern to this labyrinth? I've been watching it very keenly to see if there's like okay, this wall goes up, that wall goes down, or this path is created because that one's shut off, that kind of thing.
When I say labyrinthian, it's not so much that it's a maze. It's more that it's a room that forms around all of you, but each of the rooms are different sizes or structurally built differently for each person's test. So it forms in a labyrinthian way, as in it rises up, and it has like passages and stuff, but those passages are clearly just there for safety precautions and stuff like that. You're each in a square in a room.
Gotcha.
But I'm glad you asked, because it gives me a chance to explain it further. Sometimes I'm not thinking when I explain that stuff, so you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
When it comes to the way this forms, your goal isn't to escape, it's to achieve whatever the task is.
Yeah.
As you all approach the different squares, you see that some of them have your names on them. So you start to walk and find your placing, and realize that that is how everybody was spreading out. And in each section, there is a note waiting for each of you with instructions. But since I am not Superman, contrary to popular belief, I can't do this all at one go. So we will start one at a time. I will be going in order of name, surname. So again, it's still going to be Madriana, because Madriana Bloodfist is like A and B, so you know, you got it. I will start with you.
Okay.
The walls rise. How is Madriana feeling?
Is there a roof to this?
No,
Or is it just walls?
it's just walls.
So right now she's feeling okay. She's gonna touch the wall to get an idea of texture. Like, is this something she could leap and not out? Or is this like
Essentially.
smooth, like...
It's very smooth, but it's not built to trap you.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a Madriana... In fact, I know for a fact that if a Madriana wanted to get out of this room, there's several easy ways for her to do that, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's her first priority is, can I get out of this? Yes, I can. Now I can relax a little bit.
Right. I'm so sorry, Ryan, because you're going to be the first one to do this. You're going in more blind than everyone else is.
That's cool.
But I'll give you your inspiration back as a thank you for going first. I'm not
that's the end
suggesting
talk
that you need
you
it,
need
but...
it. Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah, right?
Well, it's just that everyone else is going to have a much keener understanding of what's happening in about 30 seconds than you are, and that gives them time to prioritize and think, but you don't have that time, so I want to reward that in some way.
Fair enough. Kick Roper out the air vent.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You open your letter, and it has simply one sentence. Steal the artifact. With that, the room changes to black, and you can see nothing. And then suddenly it starts to reform. You are not on the Crescent Pearl. You are no longer at the Arcanum. You are in Verdoir. On the floor of the vault in your father's building. Security is tight, and the opportunities are slim. However, you have enough information about this, because you come from here, that you may have advantages and things that may help you, should you ask the right questions or make the right moves. So if you need time during this to think, I will not be like, you have 10 seconds, answer me, tell me.
Yeah.
You have time to process and to think and to go through this. That's okay. Especially, particularly because you're the first.
Okay. First thing being, I know the room, so I'd know where I'd be able to hide myself.
Yes. And Amadriana also knows that if you're spotted by a guard or anything, that'll count as what's called a mark. I'll just say it says on the back of the note to make this easier for you. It counts as a mark. 3 marks and it's a failure. So you have basically 3 chances to get through this maze without being caught.
Okay. How many guards would usually be there?
About a dozen. It's not the easiest place to get through. There are securities, there are different things. This is not your typical vault. This is your father's vault.
Yeah. What's the distance from where I am to where the vault door is?
About 50 feet.
So
And it's not a
fit.
straight run. There's like, you have corridors, you have different things to go through. There are guards, there are patrols. There are countermeasures upon countermeasures. No ordinary person can get in here for a reason. Not that
Okay.
they'd want to.
My first initial thought is, okay, so I need to get through section by section. So she automatically, instantly breaks it up into different sections.
Smart.
This is section 1, 1 person. This is section 2, that might be 2 people. This is section 3, until section 8 is literally just her and the vault, nothing else left.
There are several ways for you to approach this. You can go in completely stealthy and never encounter a single person. You can do silent takedowns if you want to. This is your test, how you would do this.
Yeah.
But, for example, if you take someone down, if they're spotted, you know, Hitman style, like if they're spotted, then somebody knows you were there, right? So you got to be really aware of what you're doing. But what you do also notice is there's a small satchel by your feet, and when you open it, it's your blades and your accoutrement that were taken off you.
Okay. But I always had my dagger on me. I pretended to give it to them, but they
Sure.
never actually got it. It was always on her belt.
The rest of the things are
And the
there.
rapier and stuff, yeah.
So you have your gear back, yeah.
Okay. So first thing is going to be, so section 1. Obviously I can't visualize it the way you're doing it. So if I say to you, right, section 1, how many people do I have?
So
And then
you've
you
got a
can tell me.
primary door that's an entrance to this floor, and there are 2 guards at it.
Okay, on the outside.
Yeah, so big wooden double door in front of you. Like, you're not
Yeah.
spotted, you're not seen, you're just kind of there, but there's 2 guards standing posed against it that they're looking outward, watching.
Okay.
It's a long corridor, let's say T-shaped, so there's one stretch in front of you, there's a left and there's a right.
Okay. No vents, no extra ways in.
Not in here, no.
Okay.
Intentionally built by someone who understands the kind of person that not only you are, but helped you become the person you are.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so for this first one with a double door. She is going to, well, to start with, like, she's going to be as quiet and as silent as possible.
Right.
But with that, she's going to try and cause a distraction.
Okay.
So, taking the singular ball bearing that she now has in her pocket, thanks to Dash, she's going to move along within the shadows and use it to flick off into the distance away from one of the guards.
I'm going to start with a stealth check from you.
Okay. This is difficult. Okay. So that's
Okay.
a 25.
25. Yeah. That'll definitely make things a little bit easier. I'm going to give you athletics or acrobatics to get the ball bearing where you need it to, and I'm going to use this as an indicator of your sound as well. You can use either athletics or acrobatics because this is technically ranged, but it's also technically just, you know, improvised. So you can,
Dangerous, yeah.
yeah. So I can do whichever. I'll give you whichever. Yeah.
So that would be a 23.
With ease, you flick it over, and one of the guards is like, "Huh?" Big question mark appears over his head, and it goes bloop. Like,
And he walks over.
someone get me the Metal Gear Solid sound. He
Yeah.
walks over. Yeah, he's gonna investigate it because that's his job. He knows that if there's something there that he ignores, either he's about to die to someone or he's gonna die when his boss finds out. So.
So
Someone's
with one,
prowling around here.
so with one distracted and one watching the door, and being as quiet as I am, I'm actually going to try and, if there's enough gap between the guy and the wall, the one that's still standing there, I'm going to slip in behind him and literally just sneak the door open and just slip in like nothing.
I'll get you to give me another stealth check for this, but I'm going to give you advantage because you distracted one of the guards.
Okay. So that'll be a 24.
God damn, you're rolling amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so far. Don't fucking jinx me now. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
I
Yeah,
still got like
you get
6
through.
dudes to do with.
yeah, you get through the guard with the guards, no problem. You've 10 dudes to deal with. You get through these guards, no problem. You slip in and you just close the door quietly. You turn around. 5 guards pointing guns at you. No. You turn around and it's like a long, expansive room. The vault door is at the very end of this room. There are guards who are there's 2 guards on either side walking up and down. There are 2 guards standing near the vault, and then there's 4 guards kind of sporadically through this place, but they're not following a set pattern. They're just kind of watching.
Okay. Is it walls? Is it racking? Is it crate boxes? Like, are we talking like almost factory looking thing with a vault at the end, or is it concrete pillars? What kind of...
Yeah, the pillars would be more a thing. So you would have on both sides of the room, you would have pillars that lead down to the vault door itself. It's quite an open room. I think like any boss battle you've ever had in a fantasy game, when somehow you get to the end, there's like a pillar so that you can hide from the fireballs that are coming at you. Yeah,
Gotcha.
like there are pillars and stuff, but it is, yeah, like it isn't. It's not filled with things. This is supposed to be an easy to see room so the guards can spot if things are coming. It just needs pillars to handle the weight of the room.
So the first pillar,
And above it,
do I feel like I can get to that first one without being spotted?
easily.
If I time it right.
You don't
Okay.
even need to make a check. I'll just say you went straight for the pillar. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try and scooch my way up the concrete pillar
Right.
so that I'm at the top of it.
Okay. Oh, so you're climbing the pillar like you're kind of shimmying up?
Yeah, like proper like koala crawl, like getting up there.
What a description. Yeah, no problem. Okay.
It's the only thing I can think of at the time that like grips a tree like that.
No worries. Yeah.
You can't fall out of trees just saying.
I know. I regret everything I said, but I said it.
Depending on what you're doing here, we'll have to check, but let's see what you do.
So, as I said to you before, her bag, it's not on her back for obvious reasons. She's got more like a side satchel type one.
Yep.
She's gonna pull out her rope. I'm gonna pull out my rope. And essentially, I'm going to, using my legs for grip, because I would, like, from scaling the buildings and stuff like that, my legs are quite used to this kind of thing. Using my legs for grip, I'm going to wrap the rope around just that top bit and tie it off so that I know it's tight. How far is the next pillar?
About 10 foot.
Okay. I could leave that. With the rope, making sure that I've got enough extension that I won't just suddenly yank myself backwards. But using the rope to get, so it's hard to explain, but I'm holding the rope like that with my hands, with my feet against the pillar. So like I'm essentially leaning backwards, and I'm gonna do that kind of leap backwards and spin as I do to grab onto the next pillar.
Okay, I'll say making, again, athletics or acrobatics. I'm assuming rogue acrobatics, but you can have either of them. Either athletics explaining the push off or acrobatics to explain your flip in midair.
Yeah, it's more the twist and the grabbing onto the next one. That's so it's kind of trapeziest.
Cool.
So acrobatics would be best for sure.
Cool. Definitely.
Okay, that's a 22.
Cool. You grab to the next pillar. Now you're tied to the rope on the first pillar, is that right?
No, I was just holding it, but loose enough that it didn't yank me back.
Okay.
So I've got it spooled on my arm, but as I move, it kind of, just feeds out from my hand so that it's not.
It's a 50
yanking
foot
me
spool,
backwards.
right?
Yeah.
It probably won't make it the whole way, but it'll get you some of the way, right? Like, so you can,
Yeah.
you have it connected, right? Yeah.
Because there's 4 pillars, right? 4 pillars? You said it was a 50-foot room, so I figured
Yeah.
a pillar every 10 foot.
Yeah, but you're wrapping your own. You're wrapping. Am I wrong in that though? You're wrapping.
I wrapped it around the first one.
Okay.
So, what's that? 5 foot gone from tying it round.
Yeah, probably about that. Maybe. Yeah.
So far I've used 15 foot of rope. Okay.
Yeah. So you probably actually would be okay. I have to just do math, which is not my strong suit.
I'm trying to do it as I go as well.
No worries.
Having it knowing that it's tied off on the first one, I'm just going to whip it round this one so that it's not tied onto this one, but it's just whipped round. Hopefully it's one of those kind of concrete pillars that have like a, like a designed lip round the top that I can sit it upon so it doesn't slip down too far.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of holding yourself, but it's not entirely your weight, so you have to, you have to keep yourself positioned. You can't just let go and you'll be fine. So you're still holding onto it, but it's not like, the design wouldn't be just that you slip straight down. Otherwise, that would have happened straight away. So
yeah. Oh, I didn't mean necessarily because I know I'm holding on to it, but I mean I'm thinking Grecian pillars. You know how at the top of the plinth there'd be like a round ring, and then it'd like go off like a vase type thing. Basically, I want to make sure that the rope doesn't slip down the column. It's essentially what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you loop it around and it's kind of stable. Yeah.
And then I do again the same to get to the third column.
Same check again then.
Okay. Come on. Ooh, sugar. I'm gonna have to because it's too early on to fail this quickly. I'm gonna have to use my inspiration and do it again.
Okay. As you're about to sort of fall, you quickly use your your roguish mind to try and figure out how to get out of this. Roll inspiration. Let's see if it worked.
It's better than it was.
And 10 is also the DC. 7 definitely wouldn't have made it, but 10 is the DC. But it is rising every single time you do this, so keep that in mind.
So I'm now on the third pillar.
You're about halfway down. You kind of start slipping, and then you catch yourself, realizing that each time you do this, the tension on your arms and everything is a lot harder than you would have anticipated.
Yeah, American Ninja Warrior. This okay. So I got one more pillar, and then it's the door.
Then it's the door, but there are still guards standing posted at the door, and guards across the room that are looking around. So, at the moment, they haven't seen you, but
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna make the leap to the last one, and hopefully make it to tie myself off on, or to tie it off so that I've got that to go back with. That's essentially what I'm trying to do.
Gotcha. Okay. Right, well, you know what to do.
15.
You're good. DC was 12. I was rising up by 2 every time.
Cool.
Yeah, so you make it to the last one. You wrap your rope around it and tie it off. So you have this kind of almost a telephone wire of rope that's going from pillar to pillar to pillar.
That's it, exactly. So I can monkey bars this on the way out, hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Now, as this is my father's vault, I'm assuming that everything down here is powered. It's not braziers, it's actual power.
Yep, it's arcane energy, yep.
Which means that there is some form of light source, a light bulb, a power conductor, something that's giving off the light.
Yep, all across the room.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many?
Tons, because the room is very well lit. Tons and tons.
Okay. And is there anything else in this room, or is it very blank?
No, that would be at the vault door, the pillars, the guards, obviously, and then there would be lighting mostly built into the walls rather than hanging out, but and built into the ceiling and stuff. It's a sleek room on purpose.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is definitely harder than I was expecting. With my flask of oil, can I essentially make a quick Molotov?
Do you have the
Could you-
components you need? Do you have a tinderbox?
I do, yes. And I also have string, so I would have like a feed
Yeah.
into the lid too.
In that case, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I make this makeshift Molotov.
Okay.
And essentially my plan is, so I'm sitting up on the rope at this point. I'm using between the rope and the column to steady myself. I've got full footing and like wrapped legs and all that kind of
Sure.
stuff. And I want to essentially light this and throw it at the double wooden doors at the other end, or at least as far up that end as I can.
Right. Okay.
Because you said they were double wooden doors, so I'm thinking maybe if I ignite the door, they'll have to focus on that.
You can. This would probably be strength more than anything, though, because you're throwing it from 40 odd feet away, and
Okay.
those things usually have disadvantages when you're throwing it. So it's going to be a strength. Well, it's still a thrown weapon, though.
I tell you what I could do is, because obviously it's a flask of oil, so it's not going to be too big.
Right.
Is I could put it on an arrow and fire the arrow at the top of the door to explode it against the door.
Okay. I'll let you do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure you mark this off for your inventory later as well. Okay.
Yeah, take them off. Yeah, I'll take them off for you. Holy crap. 10? Does 10 hit the door?
I believe wooden door is actually 10 DC. 1 second.
This is fucking tough. Hope you're ready.
Oh, it's done by task, so and easy is 10. So yeah, that's fine because it's just a
Okay.
straight shot. So yeah, absolutely. You just made it.
So-
Actually, yeah, that's crazy.
Kind of hanging upside down very slightly with her legs wrapped around the rope.
Mm-hmm.
She pulls the bow with the flask attached.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite judge how much that flask is going to affect the trajectory. And it almost looks like the arrow's just dipping far too quick. That it's not going to hit that door.
Mm-hmm.
But that it does just about hit the door.
Just at the bottom, it
Smashes
smashes and
against
goes
it.
against it. Yeah.
Hopefully hiding the arrow as well as it gets burnt up. How many of the guards run over to deal with that?
Oh. There'll be quite a few because they're trapped in this room as well, and if it goes up in flames, they have a problem. Yeah, they would run over. Some of them would be taking off the jackets and trying to beat this thing because fire safety isn't really a thing in Verdor.
Between me and the safe door, how many do I have to deal with?
At 3, you'd have probably the 2 who were guarding the door who would not have left, but would be watching intently, and in that sense are a little bit distracted. And you would have 1 who's still on his post, just watching across.
And would he be able to see me if I was at the safe door?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to... What have I got? Let me see what I've got I can use for this, because there's got to be something. Oh, that could possibly work. This is about time now. So the room's kind of filling up with smoke a little bit as well, right?
At this point, yeah, it would be.
Good. Yeah, okay. I'm going to leap from the pedestal that I'm on, trying to do it as gracefully and beautifully as I can, but also as quietly as I can once I actually land, and try and land behind one of the guards at the door by the safe. Like, I want to try and use him to block me from the third one that can see.
So you want to land there without making a sound, and also sort of behind one of the guards so that the vision is blocked?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I'm also, before I do the leap, I'm also drawing out my crowbar in case I need to whack one of these guys over the head.
Okay. You're gonna have to make a stealth check to see if you make it the landing, if you stick the landing basically, and then I'm gonna get you to make acrobatics to see if you can get to where you're trying to go. You can do that in whichever order you prefer.
Okay. Well, because I'm trying to be quiet from the offset, including the kickoff, so I guess stealth would make sense. Oh, that's not great. It's only a 14.
Okay,
And
can you do the other
then-
roll for me?
Acrobatics would be a 15.
So you land it no problem, but the stealth check, you can kind of make out that the guard closest to you has realized that something's going on. He starts to look around to try and sort of see you, but he's the only one who picked up on it.
Okay, so I try to do that, where you stay behind, like in comedies where you see where they like stay behind the person.
What Dash was
so they
doing
can't
earlier,
see
or
him.
what Hetsu was doing the Dash earlier, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, that's it. Maybe something clicked to Adriana that, oh shit, just be like Hatsu for a second, and just stay out of the point of the field of view, basically.
Yeah.
What kind of safe door is it? Is it like click,
It's-
click, click, or
yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you do a repeat stealth check to see if they see you, but they're actively looking.
Okay. Please roll well, please. Come on, game. 17.
Actually, it is enough. You're fine. Yeah, you managed to stay just behind them. A tricky thing to do when the other guard has clear line of sight into your area, so you're kind of trying to stay without crossing that line. You hit my DC, but just barely. So
Okay.
you're doing okay.
So putting my ear up against the safe door, can I see if I can unlock it? And I'm doing this slowly, quietly.
So it'll be Thieves' Tools. Are you're proficient with the Thieves' Tools, right?
I am indeed.
Cool. So you might be able to just roll the item directly, actually. It might let you just do that and then add the proficiencies relevant. Yeah, cool. Other than that,
Oh, yes!
you know what's weird, Adriana?
Ah,
You know your father pretty well, so you don't even have to do this. You recall the codes that he would have used and you just put it straight in. No problem. The vault opens, but what's in there is a little bit surprising for you. As you look into this, what looks like kind of more or less a safe, just a large one, you open it quietly and everything, and as you look within it, it's a much bigger space on the inside than it was on the out. You do see only one thing inside, though, and you assume that that's what it is.
But there's no one else in here, right?
No.
Okay. She'll go in and pull the safe door too, so that it doesn't close, but also makes as least amount of noise as possible. She'll head in, but before she heads in, she's going to check that there's no, like, false floors, no tripwires, no beams, no nothing.
No, nothing. Yeah, you're fine. As you step inside, you close the vault door behind you a little bit, just making sure that if someone looks over, it doesn't look suddenly open, right?
Yeah.
And you walk inside, you pick up the amulet that's there on the thing, and as you do, it vanishes from within your hands, and you're back in the square, perfectly fine, perfectly healthy. A little bit of lung damage from the smoke, perhaps, but you're okay. The objective was to steal it, not to escape, so you make it without, with minimal harm done. Well done.
There's this very uncharacteristic split second of, like, if you've ever seen the Meme Machine with Vinnie Jones and stuff, where Danny Dyer gets accepted onto the team and he puts a shirt over his head and he's like, yes, go on, son, yes, yes, well done, yes, good boy, like that kind of thing. And then she's like, oh, yes, and just kind of walks back to wherever she needs to go.
Yeah, so you wait for the rest of the walls to come down, but it isn't a long wait. But we will flip over to our dashing friend.
Good luck.
Which one would that be?
Weston. Dash, as you pick up your letter, it just simply says, steal the valuable gem. It's not super complicated. But as you look forward and the room begins to change, you begin to hear a large amount of noise. chatter, different sounds in the background. And people start to appear. And you look down and you're wearing your suit. You're at a gala event. Black tie, or in your case, white bow tie.
Naturally.
You step in, but unlike your normal circumstances where you would have already blended in and learned who everyone is and done everything, you have no idea where you are. You have no idea who these people are. You have no idea of the routes, the best way to get through this building. You've been thrown into this. What do you want to know? What do you want to do?
How large is the room?
It's pretty large. It's a proper sized dining facility that hosts about 30 or so tables, so it's pretty big.
And how many doors do I see?
There are doors at the back that seem to lead to the kitchens. There are 2 exits on the left and the right, and behind you is the main place where you came from, which appears to be where the coat room is.
Okay. And which door appears to have the most traffic? I would assume the kitchen, but then aside from that?
You see the main doors where people are coming through, and then they're coming down the side and going into the coat room to take off their coats and do things. The tables are still filling up. I'm going to get you to make just an investigation check for me so I can scope out the room with you here.
Investigation check. Cool. 15.
15? So with a 15, you look around, but one of the... Yeah, you would see it. So one of the things that you notice is that across the room, dressed as a waitress, is Lissa. Possibly here for the same target you are.
Has she noticed me?
She noticed you? No, doesn't look like she has.
Okay. Does anyone appear to be the center of attention?
Not at the moment, but you can tell that people are still just coming in and getting ready and stuff, so this is the beginning of the event.
Is there a bar?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll make my way to the bar. I'll order a drink. Just a soft drink, just a tonic. With a slice of lime.
No worries. You order that, the bartender goes, he makes your tonic, he comes back, he places it down, you take a sip. This tastes very fucking real. That might be one of the best tonics you've ever had.
To the barkeeper, so this is it's a wonderful drink, thank you. Simple, elegant, refreshing.
Yep. It hits the right way.
Excellent. Have you been working in this particular establishment long, or are you just here for the night?
Yeah, this is, I've been working here for 4 years now.
4 years, oh, wonderful. And is there many staff here, or just a large kitchen?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's big enough staff. Only 2 bartenders though, I know that.
Or just the 2 for this size of an event? That seems quite short-sighted.
Wouldn't have been my choice. We're a little busier than we would have liked, but a band kicks in on the stage. There's a little stage area where a band starts to play.
I imagine it'll be mind your foot.
Yeah, every time. It's like the 3rd time today.
You'd be quite overworked then.
Yes,
this evening.
yes. Which is why I keep hitting my foot off things. Yeah, it's a little busy, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll be over rather quickly. Might I ask, do you know where the main patron of tonight's event is at the moment?
Oh, they probably... I suppose they'd be getting ready. It is normal to come fashionably late.
Yeah, of course. Where would they make their entrance?
I'd say they'll go over to the stage over there where the band is playing.
Ah, wonderful. That sounds about right. Well, thank you. Enjoy your evening as much as you can.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy.
Position myself within view of the stage. I imagine the people attending here are dressed quite opulent. Many jewels, as is.
Absolutely, yeah. It would, yeah. There's a lot of people here. They are like starting to order food and to like get things done. There's a lot of waiters walking around. Lissa being one of them. Oh, sorry, no, waiters. Sorry, waitresses.
Waitresses, yeah. Yep. Right. Well, I'll sip my drink. I'll wait for the party to develop a little bit more, keeping an eye on Lissa and her movements. And I'll just wait for the party to develop a little bit more. Wait for it to start in earnest, I guess.
About 10 minutes after everyone's kind of done ordering, a big door opens and a rather large gentleman walks through. You're all here. It's good to see everyone. Thank you for coming. He steps up on the stage, and as he does, you see Lissa's eyes, and then you realize what she's looking at. As he's wearing this big green emerald around his neck, and it's hanging down on his chest. The true significance of opulence and wealth. The true sign, I should say, of opulence and wealth, as he steps up on the stage and makes his presence known.
Well, does he announce his name?
No, but it's not relevant either.
I'll make my way to Lissa.
What the fuck are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing. It seems we judging by the way eyes lit up when he entered the room, I believe we're after the same target. Is this actually
fucking
you,
shocking.
by the way?
What, is it actually you? What kind of question is that?
Well, I don't know, everything else just seems to appear out of nowhere.
Did you hit your head? Did I hit your head?
You did. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, perhaps it was a little too hard.
Probably, I wasn't conscious. Anyway, further to the point, I guess we ought to work together. What do you think?
Yeah, you go over there and see what you can see, and I'll go get the gem and see what I can see.
Or how about I talk to him, distract him, and you nick it off his neck whilst he is talking to me?
Don't trust your own skills? Why don't I distract him? I'm far more distracting than you are.
What are you going to do, get your tits out?
She resists all urge to hit you as hard as she can. Fine. You go talk to him. You get your tits out and we'll see how we get on.
Very well. I'll make my way over to... Once he's finished speaking, I'll make my way over to him and offer my hand.
For some reason, there's a guy whistling behind you. He shakes your hand. He's like, "Hello, sir. Who might you be? I don't recognize you."
I'm Dash. It's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I've been waiting to meet you for quite a while. My goodness, that is a rather fantastic outfit you're wearing. Was that made locally?
No. It was imported.
Oh, wonderful. Sorry, I have a keen taste in clothing. Might I ask, where did it? Where was it imported from?
It was from the depths of Arboris. It was made with the finest silk.
Oh, magnificent. I've never been to Arboris. Have you been yourself?
While you're distracting this fool, I'm going to get a deception check from you, please.
Ooh, I think I'll use my inspiration.
You're rolling privately again. You need to set that to public, please.
Am I?
Yep.
Yeah, this is set to public there. That was a 9 anyway.
Mm-hmm. good use of your inspiration for a nat 20.
It's much better.
Nat 20 for total
Yeah.
27. Hell yeah. Okay. He's like, oh, are you kind of a connoisseur of this stuff? Do you know much about silks?
My mother is a seamstress. She is.
Well, I didn't realize you grew up poor. I'm so sorry.
Well, we work our way up, don't we? And
Yes,
let me
of
tell
course.
you, with her skills, we're far from poor.
Oh, fascinating. She's one of the upper class ones. They're rare. Maybe I know her name. Well, who's she?
She would be Heidman.
Huh, interesting. While that's all happening, Lissa is in the background. She's just casually walking behind you. She first puts her hand on your shoulder and she's like, Dash, old friend, how are you doing? It's good to see you here.
Oh, likewise. Pleasure to meet you here.
Yes, of course. He's like, Lissa, and he kisses her hand and she's like, it's good to see you again. That's very, very nice. She walks around behind him and around to the other side, and she stands and just listens to the conversation for a moment, kind of blending in. Not unusual for her. She doesn't often hide and use stealth. She just uses her own charm to get close enough to do things. Yes, well,
Of course. And as that's happening, what I want to do is see if I can accidentally kind of squirt some water from my water skin.
as you're about to do that, she drops her bag and she's like, oh shoot, Dash, would you grab that for me please, as she leans forward to try and pick up the purse.
Of course, and I'll do so. And at the same time, I'm going to try to accidentally kick it a bit towards him as well, to try and encourage him to also help.
He's like, oh, okay, sorry, of course. And he leans down to get it. This is your opportunity now, while she's distracting him. She puts her foot kind of on the bag and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so clumsy right now.
Yes, so I will absolutely try to nick it.
Sleight of hand, pal.
Please be good. 11.
You put your hand on his back and he's like, oh, thank you. And he leans on you to stand back up and you just miss the opportunity to grab it. I'm going to get you to make a stealth check for me to see. I want to know how obvious you are about that. He doesn't pick up with an 18. Yeah, he doesn't pick up that you're like trying to take it. He just thinks you were offering him help. Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome. Shall I see you to your seat, or?
Oh, I have a lot of people to talk to say hi to, you know.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Well, I'll let you get on with it, and I'll shake. I'm gonna do that. Shake his hand, and
he shakes your hand quite a little bit harder than you would expect. He seems very strong, but he shakes your hand. He turns around and he looks towards one of the tables. He's like, Montgomery. And he walks over to Montgomery.
As he shakes my hand, I pat his back. I want to try quickly see if I can loosen that necklace any bit again.
Okay, you can make a sleight of hand check. Are you trying to do this carefully or are you trying to do this quickly?
I'm trying to do it carefully.
Okay, I need a stealth check first to know how obvious you are about this. But I will give you advantage. I just saw that before you rolled. I will give you advantage on the stealth check.
Okay. Wait, did that one roll?
I didn't see it. I have one that says 18 here, but not the advantage.
Oh yeah, that was it. So let me do it.
Both 18. Okay, you have to get 3 18s in a row. 16. Sorry.
Yeah,
16. Sorry.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, it just didn't update on the screen that quickly. Sorry. Busy. You lean forward. So, all right, but with an 18 because it was advantage, you take a look in and you see your window of opportunity to do this without being really spotted. Lissa walks over and she knocks into a tray full of cups and causes a distraction. You have a moment here. This is your last chance. I'm going to give you advantage on sleight of hand because Lissa's helping you, but the DC, I'm going to call it DC's 18 on this. So if you get anything less than an 18, he's going to know, and this will be a failure. No pressure.
Yes.
24 will definitely do it. So as he's distracted, he looks around at Lissa. He's like, huh? You sort of like reach around behind him, just clip the little chain link that's on his back. And as it falls, you catch it in your hand and you walk away. The shadows begin to disappear. The band stops playing. And you are back in the walls. Listen, nowhere to be seen.
Let out a big breath. If Dash's suit wasn't so like well tailored, you'd see sweaty armpits.
Absolutely. Next up will be Eos. But given the time, we're going to have to stop here, pal. I'm so sorry, Rory. But we will continue with this next week. Each of you will have your opportunity. So Dash and Adriana, you guys are chill. Next week, you're done. But we start with Eos next week. It will then go to Westland. It'll go to Hatsu, and then it'll go to Slate. So in terms of time for next week, and so that you guys have your order so you know what's up, that's what's going to be happening, okay?
Our sweating time is over. Nice.
Your sweating time's over. Other people have to wait a week for their sweating time, which makes it far worse.
Yeah.
I'm so
Fist
sorry.
bumps with
Pal.
Adriana.
Yeah. She, on this rare occasion, as she walks off and she sees him walking out the same, and she just gives him a look as if to say did you do okay? And if he retaliates yeah, then she'd do the little fist bump. She'd be like, all right, fair enough.
Hell yeah. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to stop it there. For those on YouTube, there will be a supplementary video. It'll only be up on YouTube called Beyond the Isles, where we'll have a little conversation after our break now. For the podcast and stuff like that, thank you so much for listening. Do appreciate it. For those on Twitch, we will be continuing the conversation now in about 5 minutes. And like I said, that'll be up on YouTube as well.